Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto changes after Sasuke retrieval. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments. Traveling in order to encounter Kabuto at the Heaven and Earth Bridge was Uzumaki Naruto, Haruno Sakura, member of Anbu Yamato, and Sai, member of the Anbu route. The group was approximately 10 miles away from their destination, so Yamato decided that the group should set camp, because the sky was getting darker by the minute. Once achieved the group's consent, Yamato performed some hand seals and a wood house emerged from the ground that served as a base camp for the group to plan the mission at the very last detail. Once everyone of the group had settled, Yamato gathered everyone and went to the details of the mission. So, from the report that Tsunade-sama handed to me, we are to meet Kabuto at the Heaven and Earth Bridge in a couple's days' time, says Yamato, showing to the group the area map and a file regarding Kabuto's data. Sakura, why don't you tell me exactly how Sasori is, and give me everything you know, because if we are to succeed this mission, I need to make a perfect henge technique of Sasori. Once Sakura gave a precise report regarding the Red Scorpion Sasori, Yamato started to tell his plan regarding the mission. As you all know, the plan is the following. I am going to perform a henge technique in disguise in Sasori in order to abduct Kabuto, hopefully, without any need of battle. You three will hide yourselves in your chakra so that he can't be suspicious of the trap. In case I fail to abduct him, I am to give you three a signal in order to disable Kabuto quickly as possible. Agreed? After a huge "hi" was heard, all went to sleep in order to get ready for the mission in 2 days. Little did they know that they would have an unexpected visit for none other than the Snake Sanin. Mission date. When the mission date arrived, Sasori, Yamato in disguise, and Kabuto met in the middle of the bridge, with 3 Konoha ninjas hiding in a safe distance as to not blow Yamato's cover and ruin the mission. Also, looking up and with a very scary expression, shows Orochimaru, analyzing the situation and already noticed the 3 teenage ninjas hidden. All of a sudden, Orochimaru showed up behind Kabuto, with his body surrounded by snakes. "Do I smell treason, Kabuto?" Orochimaru said with a grin. "Orochimaru-sama, were you following me?" Kabuto answered with apparent surprise in his face. Then Kabuto showed his devotion to the Snake Sanin and revealed his plan to kill Sasori, hanged Yamato with his technique Chaka Scalpel, for a bunch of broken wood starts flying, destroying the Mokuton henge technique and showing a surprised Yamato. Once the signal was sent, 3 Konoha ninjas appeared from their hiding positions, only for Orochimaru to tell that he already sensed them before, and knew of the group's intentions regarding Kabuto. Haruno Sakura and Sai were focused on the enemy, but Naruto, only by looking at the responsible for Sasuke leaving Konoha in order to obtain power, became angry at a point that his eyes burned red, his hair, fingernails and teeth changed in a way never seen before, as well as tails appearing, one by one. When the third tail appeared, a red aura emanated from Naruto could be sensed by the entire forest, scaring both Sakura and Sai, since they were clueless of what was happening to his figured this out, and quickly told to both, that's Kyuubi's chakra, not Naruto's, which resulted in a more scared expression of Sakura. Once the fourth tail appeared, Naruto transformed into a little Kyuubi with 4 tails and red skin, now recognizable by no one, and set to charge Orochimaru, who cursed Naruto for his lack of skill, since he resorted to the Kyuubi's chakra. Pitiful child, resorting to Kyuubi all the time. All that Naruto could say was groan at anything, since he is now being controlled by the 9-tailed beast. After a monster-like fight between Orochimaru and Mini Kyuubi and the entire destruction of the area, Orochimaru and Kabuto escaped and Yamato had to stay doing his Mokuton technique in order to calm the Kyuubi's chakra and save Naruto, cursing him for resorting to Kyuubi's chakra without any need for it. Once Yamato saved Naruto, the group, now without Sai since he escaped with Orochimaru in order to fulfill his secret mission, one given by Danzo, leader of Root, started to chase Orochimaru until they reached his hideout. By performing a Doden technique, the 3 group members infiltrated the hideout. Once inside, they managed to find Sai and his secret mission, only for him to say that since they found out his mission, he failed this mission. After a search throughout the hideout, the now entire group found Uchiha Sasuke and engaged him in battle. Then from out of nowhere, Sasuke showed the results of his training and appeared in front of Naruto, with his sword in his hand, ready to stab Naruto's back and saying, "You shouldn't come here, Naruto, I told you already you do not stand a chance against me. You are too much of a knucklehead to ever win a fight against anyone with at least low chunin level." Laughed Sasuke. "Shut up you Teme," barked Naruto, infuriated with the adjective knucklehead. Sai managed to stop Sasuke's blade with his own, only for Sasuke laugh and use his new technique called Chidori Nagashi and blasted everyone with electricity current. After, Sasuke escaped with Orochimaru and Kabuto, resulting the mission to fail and for the group to report to Tsunade-sama, the Godem Hokage of Konoha Hidden Village. On the way back, Yamato argued with Naruto. "Naruto, why would you channel to Kyuubi's chakra before? Because of that, this mission failed and you are to be held responsible for it. If only you tried to think once in your life, you would not make as many bad decisions as you make." "Sorry Yamato-sensei, I was careless. But all Naruto could think is, why everyone underestimates me? Why everyone call me knucklehead? Why Sakura-chan is blaming me as well for failing the mission?" Naruto then looked at Sakura, who was giving him an evil glare, reached him and started vomiting angry words at Naruto. "Why Naruto? Don't you want to rescue Sasuke? You've made a promise to me, you know? Why you screw up all the time, knucklehead?" Naruto, when hearing that nickname, became very angry at her. In fact, that nickname he has been hearing every time since he graduated from the academy. Sakura's curse at Naruto was the last one needed for him to get furious in the worst possible level. He knew it was time to change the way the population of Konoha and foreigners think about Uzumaki Naruto. Once near the village, Naruto knew one thing: never again will people underestimate me. A couple days after the mission, the group was standing beside the Godem, giving the report of the mission that was a complete failure. "So, Yamato, report on your mission," ordered Tsunade. "Hi Tsunade-sama. As planned, I hanged into Sasori and encountered Kabuto at the designated area. However, we had an unexpected visit from Orochimaru that happened to plot an assassination of the Akatsuki member with the help of Kabuto." Naruto, after hearing about Sasuke from Orochimaru, became angry, channeling the power of the Kyuubi Four Tails and turned to fight Orochimaru and Kabuto at the same time. After that, Orochimaru and Kabuto escaped. I managed to turn Naruto back into his form with Mokuton Jutsu and Sakura healed his burned body. After following Orochimaru and Kabuto's trace, we managed to find their hideout and we came face to face with Sasuke. Once Naruto and him were neck to neck, being tired because of the Kyuubi's transformation, Naruto didn't have time to rest, failing to capture him and they escaped, explained Yamato, finishing his report. Tsunade noticed evil glares from Yamato and Sakura towards Naruto, which came as a surprise to her, so she bothered to give the blonde shinobi the right to verify the story said by Yamato. "The story is true," said Naruto, never losing his new serious posture, which once again appeared strange to the blonde Hokage, since she expected him to be either screaming his lungs on his behalf or becoming angry at them for implying that it was his fault the mission failed. Tsunade actually was a little drunk, so just to play with the blonde, she aimed a chakra-enhanced punch directly on his face. She would not hit him with it, in fact she would stop her arm really close to his nose. When the fist approached, Tsunade noticed that Naruto did not even bother to defend himself or even showed any side of fear for the upcoming blow. When she stopped the punch inches from Naruto's face, she, as intrigued as she was, turned to ask why. "Why you didn't defend yourself? My fist could make quite damage on your skull." Now, she was more than ever worried about her surrogate family's sanity, since the old one would close his eyes and be frightened, just waiting for the blow. "It's because I admit my failure and I deserve to be punished, Hokage-sama. The entire mission was a failure and it was because of my stupidity and harsh thinking, therefore I'm to hold responsible for the failure of the mission," said Naruto, earning glances from everyone. Sakura and Yamato, even though were very mad at Naruto, never passed through their heads that Naruto would admit that he was wrong, or even be held responsible for the failure of the mission. Tsunade and Shizune were trying to look for any kind of emotion through Naruto's eyes, but couldn't find anyone. It was like he was admitting defeat. Sai was as stoic and emotionless as ever. But Tsunade, somehow, knew, after looking further, that Naruto wasn't giving up at all. That look on his eyes was almost the same as his father when serious. This Naruto was frightening her to no end. She never thought she would be scared of Naruto, but now it looks like he suffered an extreme transformation or Minato took over his body. But since the report was over, Tsunade dismissed everyone, so Yamato and Sai shunshined out of the room, while Sakura went for the door and never looked back. After some time, Naruto requested to speak to Tsunade in private, and she agreed. "So, Naruto, what would you like to talk to me about, and be quick?" Now this was a new thing. Normally, Tsunade would already know what Naruto wanted to talk about, since usually was about new missions and complaints about the teammates that he was to be grouped with. But now she couldn't anticipate what he was about to talk about, and she feared that it could be something serious. "Actually, Hokage-sama, I noticed that the Chunin exams will be in 2 weeks from now, so I would like a 2-week training period in order to take the exams and finally advance to Chunin," said Naruto, earning surprising glances from Tsunade, since Naruto wasn't calling her Ba-chan but now Hokage-sama, and she totally forgot about the Chunin exams. Naruto didn't wait for Tsunade to answer, and requested another favor. "Also, I would like those chakra elemental papers, so I can know which chakra element I'm most suited for in order to start my training." "But, Naruto, what about Team Kakashi? They will need you with them on future missions," said Tsunade, trying to convince him to not do the Chunin exams and proceed with Sakura and Yamato or Kakashi, who by this time was already recovered. "They can very well take care of each other, and, as they said, all I ever do is mess things up, anyway," said Naruto, in a calm manner, trying to hide his utter frustration with the so-called teammates of his and the fact that they always underestimate him. "Okay, Naruto, I will grant your wish, but we have to talk with Kakashi about it. He will be crushed when you tell him about it." Naruto, knowing that Kakashi was actually hearing the whole conversation, since not only he sensed his chakra signature but also spotted a shadow with spike hair near one of the windows outside the Hokage's office, showed a little grin and calmly stated, "Don't worry about that, Hokage-sama, I am sure he already knows. I'll see you in a couple weeks' time at the Chunin exams, until then take care of yourself," said Naruto, and walked calmly to the door and left the office. "Okay," said Tsunade, still dumbstruck from seeing the blonde's new behavior, but she was wondering how Naruto knew that Kakashi was already listening to the whole conversation from outside the room. Actually, Jiraiya was a master in sensing other people's chakra signatures from far away, so she guessed that he taught Naruto that ability up to a kin level with his own. After that, Naruto vanished from sight and Kakashi appeared from the window, as he was hearing everything. He was wondering what the hell happened that made everyone blame Naruto for what happened. Sure, Naruto weren't the brightest mind of the Rookie 9, but to an extent to blame him. But what puzzled him to no end was Naruto himself and his sudden change, and also the fact that Naruto took charge and the responsibility for what happened. Kakashi actually was glad of Naruto's antics, since it reminded him so much of his sensei. As Kakashi just entered the room, Naruto collected the chakra elemental papers and stored him inside his pocket, while walking towards the administration building's exit, when Shizune called him so as to have a little conversation and try to understand her surrogate little brother and what's going on with him that resulted in his change of behavior. Shizune was sad at seeing the seriousness in Naruto's face, just as Kakashi was. From her part, Naruto's happiness and behavior just happened to bring out the best in people, and she was very well proud of her little brother for that part, but now she was scared of what he could be thinking. "Naruto-kun, wait up. I want to talk to you a little bit, if that's okay with you?" asked Shizune, seeing Naruto's back with his hands inside his pockets, slowly turning himself to watch his sister, while demonstrating a look of total apathy and indifference, much to Shizune's dismay and sadness. "What do you need, Shizune-ni-chan?" answered Naruto with very little concern in his voice. "Naruto-kun, why are you like this? This look of yours doesn't suit you at all. Is there something wrong with you? It's okay, you can talk to me, after all you're like a little brother to me," smiled warmly Shizune, a little relieved after receiving a smile from Naruto as well. "Don't need to worry about me, Shizune-ni-chan, it's just a little realization on my part that now it hit me worse in my face than Tsunade-sama's chakra-enhanced punches," said Naruto, who even though showed care to his sister, answered with little bit of emotion. At this, Shizune was caught staring hardly at her brother for what he said. First of all because of how profound he seemed, and second was that he once remarked the Hokage as an old lady and now he calls her Tsunade-sama or Hokage-sama, even though they weren't at the presence of such person. What could it be, Naruto-kun, that changed that happiness in you that always seemed to cheer everyone up? Where is the old Naruto who could very well change everything bad to good just with his presence? Asked Shizune, wondering just where that Naruto was hiding and actually considering that this one wasn't the Naruto she came to know, which in fact it wasn't. I'll tell you, Shizune-ni-chan. It's because of the fact that no one I know thinks of me as a good shinobi or even good at something. For everyone, I'm the dobi, the dead last, the idiot, the pathetic excuse of a shinobi. If you have one more, why not add to that list while we're talking about it? I'm just sick and tired of being underestimated of my abilities, and even though that perverted of Asani didn't teach me shit, I'm going to train all by myself. Said Naruto, while Shizune was displaying looks of sadness, anger and disappointment. Sadness was from seeing the one never-ending happiness and stamina freak show his true emotions for the first time, as well as acknowledge the fact that no one is always happy and that Naruto had earned moments of true reflections at his life. Anger of herself as well as everyone's misjudgment of Naruto's abilities and disappointment at Jiraiya for apparently wasting 3 years of Naruto's life, not training him. Naruto-kun, tell me about your training with Jiraiya-sama? After all, you spent 3 years training with him? Asked Shizune, so as to confirm her suspicions. If you could call that training, I mean we practiced a bit of taijutsu for the first months, then we wasted the entire year trying to channel some of the damn fox's chakra in order to control it. Eventually, he gave me a crash course of genjutsu and that's about it. No ninjutsu training, except perfecting the Rasengan. That's about it. When I asked him about it, he said that he needed to talk to his spying networks about the Akatsuki and left me for granted. So to sum up, he didn't want to waste his time with me. Said Naruto, explaining what he did, which Shizune could sum up and conclude that from 3 years, all he trained was 6 months and nothing more. I can't believe him. He did nothing to train you. No efforts whatsoever. If Shizune was angry, now she was fuming. How could he do something like that with Naruto? How could he waste Naruto's life like that? He pretty much thought the same thing as everyone thinks right now, I guess. But that will end right here right now. Said Naruto, showing determined look that scared his sister a little bit, but she, as being his sister, tried to run damage control, but to no avail. Wait, Naruto-kun. I can talk to Tsunade-sama and she can summon someone who could teach you. You don't need to do this alone. How about that? No, I won't rely on people to train me anymore. From now on, I will only rely on myself to train and get better. If I would tell for all the teachers that I had, I would say that from everyone, only Iruka-sensei taught me anything. The other teachers from the academy just didn't want to teach me because of my burden. Kakashi-sensei was pressed by the council to teach the stupid Uchiha. Jiraiya didn't want to teach me and only said he would so he would take me away from Konoha and from the Akatsuki's tracks. I'm not even counting Yamato on this. If I want to become better as a shinobi, I will need to do this by myself. Exploded Naruto in front of his sister, apparently extinguishing every bit of hope to convince him to calm down a bit. I see. You changed, Naruto-kun. I never thought I would see the day when you become like you are now. I kind of miss the old Naruto who was able to convince Tsunade-sama to take the position as Hokage. Sighed Shizune, as she was resorting to pity talk to try to get through the blonde, but what he answered, it was enough to tell her that maybe that one that she was missing, was just a charade. Well, that old Naruto is gone now, so don't keep your hopes up if you want him to show up again. I need to go now, Shizune-ni-chan, a 2-week training awaits for me. Said Naruto, storming off, leaving a wide-eyed Shizune with sadness on her eyes. Meanwhile, outside the corridor, just as Naruto and Shizune was having their talk, Yae Kurenai was passing by since she had to bring a report to the Hokage about her mission that entailed a complex analysis on the villages around Konoha's economy and security situations. Just as she was about to enter the corridor that led to the Hokage's office, she overheard voices that she recognized, a female's voice belonging to Shizune and a male voice which looked like a grown-up voice from Naruto. While eavesdropping on the conversation, she was being taken aback little by little from what she was listening. Apparently Naruto was telling Shizune about the total waste of his 3-year training trip with Jiraiya, as well as a list of all his teachers and the lack of wanting to teach anything to the poor blonde. Now by hearing this, Kurenai was pissed beyond words. She somehow knew that Naruto would have a hard time with others because of the Kyuubi, but to an extent to jeopardize his abilities and hinder his growth. That was just pure bullshit. Might as well turn him into a civilian, and that would a better thing to do. She was a little sad of the boy, upon hearing such sad words from his mouth, though. Naruto is Hinata's crush, because of the fact that Naruto would never quit anything and always show a happy smile on his face. But Kurenai shrugged that thought and concluded that Naruto just suffered too much in his life to try to even be happy about it. Caught in wonderings, Kurenai realized that the conversation was over and Naruto was coming her way. Needing to act fast as to not arouse suspicions from an already pissed Naruto, she needed to think fast. By resorting to her specialty, he hid herself under a genjutsu and waited for Naruto to leave. Little did she know that Naruto already sensed her before. As he opened the door that Kurenai was, he turned to the direction that Kurenai was hiding and began to stare at her, almost as daring her to come clean with the fact that she was eavesdropping on his conversation with Shizune. Kurenai, for her part, was hoping that the blonde was only double-checking before he left, but what she listened just pretty much ended any thought on that part. Kurenai-san, would you be so kind as to drop that low-level genjutsu? I'm actually surprised you would think that I wouldn't see through it. But then I guess that what everyone thinks of me as being weak, so you wouldn't be different," said Naruto as he continued to walk towards the exit, only to be stopped by the genjutsu mistress that was showing a bit of anger towards the blonde from thinking her of being that superficial and shallow. "Naruto, I'm resented at that. You just accused me of being superficial just like everyone. I'm not like that at all," said Kurenai to the blonde, a little surprised to see him turning up to her in the coolest manner and displaying another apathy look that showed to Kurenai that she was lying directly on his face. "Kurenai-san, if what you said is true, then why would you resort to such low-level genjutsu and low-level chakra one as well? Just answer me, were you with the pretension to be caught or you were hoping that I wouldn't be able to see through it, since my abilities with genjutsu wouldn't be sufficient?" asked Naruto plain, simple and with the pressure of a 1,000-pound weight that seemed to smash through Kurenai's face like nothing else before. Now she was caught and she could do nothing about it. She realized now that she was in fact underestimating him by using such a pitiful technique, and for how much she wanted to punch herself a few times, she couldn't change the fact that she just gave enough evidence to back up Naruto's claims. "Naruto, she somehow couldn't open her mouth to say that he was right, and she was once again cursing herself for it. "Don't need to explain, Kurenai-san, I just got my answer," said Naruto, concluding the case and pretty brought down the hammer on the case. As he continued to walk, he left yet another kunoichi wide-eyed and sad. As Kurenai turned her back and walked through the corridor that led to the Hokage's office, she saw Shizune, staring outside, more specifically, staring the blonde walking away from the building, heading towards the Hokage monument, a place which Naruto went pretty often. Kurenai was feeling the exact same thing as Shizune. Guilt. She was angry at everyone who showed no effort on Naruto's part, but she was also to blame, since she did the exact same thing that everyone did, and that was underestimate the blonde Chunin wannabe's abilities as a ninja. As Shizune turned to exchange glares with Kurenai, she noticed that something happened to her as well, and she had a feeling that Naruto had something to do with it. Back at the corridor, Shizune was once again wide-eyed upon hearing about Kurenai's encounter with Naruto and how Kurenai just gave Naruto enough arguments to support his theory about everyone underestimating his abilities. She was about to shout at Kurenai if not for the fact that she also acted the same way concerning the blonde. "I know what you're thinking, Shizune, and I fainted to believe on the contrary, but it is true. We were all responsible for this fact. I just wished I could do something to remedy that, but I just can't think of anything on that manner." But what scared me the most was the looks on his eyes. It isn't the same Naruto I knew and that Hinata has a crush on. This new looks of his demonstrate sadness and disappointment as well as wave of determination. He changed a lot, probably more than the ones his age, but then again he suffered far worse than everyone combined that I just tremble in only thinking how much bad things happened to him, and to just keep walking like he does. It's nothing less than admirable, won't you think, Shizune? Yeah, I do. At first I was terrified about seeing him like that. After all, it was the old Naruto that brought Tsunade-sama back to Konoha and put her out of her sorrow. I know that he changed and became more matured because of it, but he's too young to be like he is now. If I didn't know him, I would assume that he was an experienced Anbu captain who thought the third shinobi war and survived. I'm scared of what he could become, Kurenai-san. The mind plays tricks on us and the Kyuubi doesn't help the situation. If he snaps, I don't know what would happen to him. Shizune, I believe that you are once again misjudging his abilities just like everyone has been doing, said Kurenai, so that once again Shizune became wide-eyed at the kunoichi's explanation. What do you mean? I mean that he is 15 years old and has been keeping the demon at bay since he was born, and here you are saying that the Kyuubi could make him suffer more than he already suffered throughout his existence. If that is true, then his life is condemned. I can see clearly now, Shizune. To him to grow as a ninja as well as keep the worst of the Biju from tampering with his life, is one hell of an assignment that I don't think anyone would be able to do it. I just hope that the boy, no, that man can find happiness once in his life. Now, I have to deliver a report, Shizune-san, so if you excuse me. By all means, Kurenai-san, said Shizune, as she turned to walk away towards the hospital. Meanwhile, she was once again lost in thoughts from Kurenai's words about Naruto and the Kyuubi. She was berating herself for the fact that she seemed to underestimate Naruto's abilities on a subconscious level. Like it was common sense, and now the only thing she wished was for Naruto to forgive her and move on. At the Hokage's room, while the conversations were on, Kakashi was having his one with Tsunade, and obviously the talk was about the blonde genin's new behavior and the late turn of events. What was all that, Hokage-sama? What happened to Naruto? Said Kakashi as he was entering the office from the window. Don't annoy me, Kakashi. I am more perplexed than you, you know. Feel free to talk with him, because for what I know, in their last mission, something went bad and everyone blamed him for the failure, and no, he seems very pissed about it. Sighed Tsunade, wondering what the hell happened with the once hyperactive ninja. I've looked in his eyes, Hokage-sama. He's not the same Naruto as before. Something very serious happened to him, and I don't think the Kyuubi has anything to do with this situation. What could be the issue here? Oh, try to talk to him. He's either at Ichiraku's or talking to Amino Iruka. No, wait, that where the old Naruto would go. Oh, I don't know where he could be now. Find him and talk to him and bring a report to me after that. Hi. With that, Kakashi vanished in a puff of smoke, and appeared right in front of Ichiraku's ramen, but he couldn't find him there. For once, Kakashi was having a hard time finding Naruto. He was not at Ichiraku's, Iruka hadn't seen him. After a couple hours of search and nothing of Naruto, he looked up and noticed the Hokage monument with all the faces of the cages, and remembered of his sensei Namikaze Minato. He also sighed about thinking about the Yondaimi's legacy, as Itachi once said, and the fact that Naruto may never be the same again. It was just at that moment that he spotted the one he was looking for sitting on the Yondaimi's head, therefore, shunned shining near him only to see the chakra paper cut in half and wet as well. So, Naruto, you have affinity with wind and water type jutsus. That's very good. Actually, in order to become a Junin, you must at least master 2 elements. It seems you are right on track, said Kakashi, surprised that his student had 2 affinities already. Yes, I noticed, said Naruto, still staring at the village that he pledged alliance to, even though he had a couple of good memories and a lot of bad ones. But Konoha was his home and he would be damned before running away from it and become a missing nin. Naruto, why are you doing all this? Why are you acting like this? This isn't you, what happened? I can answer your little questionnaire with one word, tired. Summed it up Naruto, glanced from his sensei. Tired? Tired of what? Asked Kakashi, one of the dumbest question anyone could be asking Naruto at the moment, and he very well knew it, but he wanted to press Naruto so to know just what is up with him, but to his dismay, Naruto explained in a cool manner that Kakashi wondered where the old Naruto was. The fact is, Kakashi-sensei, I'm fed up with everyone regarding me as weak, a dead last. I'm fed up about everyone I know underestimate my abilities. I'm tired about those who vowed to teach me how to be a good shinobi, resorted to being a hypocrite and just teach me the basics. Basically, I concluded that if I am to become strong, I'm on my own, so I'm going to train by myself, since at least I won't be depending on people that due to different circumstances, stop teaching me and turn to teach others. So I'm alone in this field, said Naruto, now literally beating Kakashi with just words, a feat that Kakashi never would have expected from Naruto. I can very well try to lie to you, Naruto, and say that what you are saying is complete bullshit, but the fact is you're right. At least for my part, I ended up teaching you the tree walking exercise and nothing else, I'm sorry. Actually, the council was to blame for that since they wanted for Kakashi to teach only the Uchiha. But he didn't want Naruto to know that and then wanting to go after them. But little did he know that Naruto knew the truth. Kakashi-sensei, you're in no need to vow for the council, okay? I know that they forced you to train the traitor, so stop trying to protect them. You're in no need for such a thing. I'm not going after them, if you were afraid of that. But I also know that Jiraiya didn't do shit with me and he was in no pressure from anyone, since he is a Sannin. But I can't sit here and depend on a teacher to be strong, because if I do that, I can guarantee that I would be a genin for my whole life. If you want, I could train you better. Thanks but no thanks. Even though you are the only one that taught me anything besides Iruka-sensei, I vowed to train for myself from now on. Said Naruto, acknowledging the fact that Kakashi was the only one who didn't think less of him. I see. So, the Chunin exams, I believe you can very well pass without much trouble, and becoming a Chunin, you are on the right way to live your dream, right? Asked Kakashi, being almost certain that no matter how he has changed, he never would abandon his dream of becoming Hokage. Yes, but what my dream is and what you think, it's pretty different things. You see, becoming a Chunin diminished the path to become what I dream of, but it's not the position of Hokage I want anymore. Said Naruto, this time making Kakashi drop his jaw so much that even with his mask everyone could see that. You don't want to become Hokage anymore? No, I don't. The Hokage position means having to take crap for granted, and I happened to swallow too much bullshit to actually want any more of that. Also, I wouldn't believe for a second that I would have the same respect as the other Hokages, being the Kyuubi container and being known as the Knucklehead. So I decided to become an Anbu instead and be of service for Konoha behind the curtains. At least this way I don't have to deal with hypocrisy and political bullshit. I see. Well, I'm pretty sure you have a lot to do, Naruto, so I'm out of here. Just so you know, if you need help in anything, just let me know, okay? Sure thing, Kakashi-sensei, and thank you, along with Iruka-sensei. You guys were the only ones who didn't leave me for granted and didn't underestimate me. I appreciate that. Don't need to do that, Naruto. You'll be a great shinobi and I'll see the Chunin exams. So make me and Iruka proud, okay? Said Kakashi, smiling at the man that was once his student. Oh, and if you see Sakura, tell her that I'll be leaving the team for practice and may never return. And in case she asks about it, just tell her that she got what she wanted, I'm out of her life. Said Naruto. Very well, Naruto. I'm off, see you and good luck on the training. Said Kakashi, vanishing in a swirl of leaves. Just after sighing about Team 7 as being the one that displayed the worst teamwork in Konoha's history of shinobis. With Naruto. Then, Naruto got up from where he was sitting and felt the sudden wind breeze that appeared, washing away any sorrow on his part and further improving his already high determination in order to train until exhaustion and become a real shinobi. One who wasn't afraid to do what needed to be done. One who could show fear to his enemies just with his presence. One that could very well demonstrate that pure determination and willpower can overcome all the adversities. As he was returning to the village, he was becoming more determined to change his life as it is and improve his shinobi abilities for good. Sakura's house. After leaving Naruto at the Hokage monument, Kakashi went to Sakura's house to tell her regarding Naruto's choice and the future of Team Kakashi. Kakashi at first didn't want to see Naruto like that, but he figured that eventually everyone had to grow up and therefore he was relieved that Naruto was no longer a child, but a man that actually knows what he needs and is very well on the way to conquer his dream. As he reached Sakura's house, he sighed as he was the one to bring the sad news for her, but he figured that since he was the Junin sensei of the team it was his responsibility and no one's. So, he knocked a couple of times until Sakura answered. Sakura, are you home? Knocked Kakashi. Hi, Kakashi-sensei, what do you need? I've come to talk to you about the future of Team Kakashi. Future? What do you mean? Our team is going to return a 3-man group. Said Kakashi with his stoic face while Sakura was figuring that Sai would be the one that be out, since he in theory was just a substitute for Sasuke. Oh, so Sai won't be joining us, then? Said Sakura. It's not Sai who's leaving the squad, Sakura, Naruto is. Huh, why would he leave? Asked Sakura, perplexed. She was wondering why the hell did Naruto left Team 7 for and instantly remembered about his sudden turn of behavior at the Hokage's office. Sure, Naruto was a pain in the ass to handle and always put the team in difficult situations, but never did she think that Naruto would be leaving her. He asked Tsunade-sama to give him a 2-week training period alone, in order for him to pass the Chunin exams that will be held in exact 2 weeks from today. The Chunin exams? Surely, he doesn't realize that 2 weeks wouldn't be enough for him to be prepared. I don't think he will ever be prepared to pass the exams. He always gets in the way of things, always screw up. He is such a baka. He abandoned us, just like Sasuke did, said Sakura, fuming inside since she wanted to have a few words with the knucklehead. Sakura, I would advise you not to use such words on him. You don't know what Naruto went through in life. As a matter of fact, no one understands what Naruto went through, and I know you are aware of his situation. And he is just starting where he left, since he left with Jiraiya-sama to train for 3 years, so he is becoming a Chunin, just like the rest of the Rookie 9. Kakashi-sensei, how can you defend his actions? I know about his burden, but there's no reason for him to leave us like he did. Well, at least after he gets the Chunin position, will he return with us? Asked Sakura to Kakashi, before seeing the look that her sensei was giving her and thought for the worst. This may not sound good for you to hear, but he doesn't want to become a part of the team anymore. Why not? Asked Sakura, being more than mad of the blonde. Actually, he told Hokage-sama that Team Kakashi can very well take care of ourselves, as well as the fact that he was through with all your complaints and guilt charges on him. I actually agree with him in his decision. He was never appreciated to begin with. Sasuke almost killed him 3 years ago and now you blames him for the failure of the mission, but as I seen the report, it seemed that you weren't so helpful either, Sakura. Oh, and he wanted to tell you a specific message. Would you like to hear it? Asked Kakashi. Sakura was now out of her mind. Not only Naruto abandoned her but also Kakashi was backing him up. Surely, she didn't do anything to help on the mission, seeing as she had to be saved from Yamato because she was knocked unconscious when Naruto Four Tails threw him with chakra towards her direction. Now, Naruto gave her a message and she could very well tell him to go to hell right now, but told Kakashi to tell her. Spell it out. What is it that idiot wanted you to tell me about? He asked me to tell you that you got what you wanted and that he's out of your life for good. Right now, Kakashi said with so enthusiasm to Sakura that he immediately felt better. He was disappointed at Sakura for being so selfish as believing that she was the victim. Now Sakura, since the beginning of the academy, criticized Naruto. When the news reached her ear, suddenly, a sense of sorrow ran through her mind and she became surprised. Now that she thought about it, Naruto was the only one who was there for her, even though she did nothing but either scream at him or punch him in the face. She never paid attention to Naruto's feelings at all. In fact, the only thing she cared about was either Sasuke or getting Sasuke back from the hands of the Snake Sanin. She was feeling guilt, but it was over now, because Team 7 would never be the same again. Kakashi noted that Sakura felt guilty and said, "It's such a shame to lose a partner like Naruto because of a stupid situation, as it was. But now the damage is done. I hope that Naruto can move on in the near future. Honestly, and trust me Sakura, with the Sharingan, I can read any person's emotions, and I can tell that's going to be a while for him to forgive what happened. For your information, he even gave up the dream of becoming Hokage." Because of me? Said Sakura, surprised. Before she was feeling like a punch went through her face, but now that was true. There wasn't enough pain in the world that could describe someone shattering another person's dream on a subconscious level. No, not only you but because of everyone. He said that being the Kyuubi's container and known as the hyperactive knucklehead ninja of Konoha, he would get the respect that Tsunade-sama and the previous Hokages haven't had. So, what is his dream now? Anbu. Now, Sakura, I have to go take care of the formalities. We are expected at Tsunade-sama's office tomorrow at 6. Bye, said Kakashi after shining away. Even though Sakura couldn't comprehend the changes that will occur in her life as a ninja, she managed to conclude that both her teammates Sasuke and Naruto left her. Sasuke left because he wanted to gain power in order to kill his brother one day. And now, Naruto left, not because he wanted anything. In fact, she knew that he left because of her and, therefore, tears starts falling down her face and she don't know what to do. Her once pride of being apprenticed by the great medic Nin Tsunade got through to her and her ego was getting as big as Sasuke if not bigger. But now she couldn't feel better at all. It was like a part of her was missing and she couldn't for a fact decide what to do. She was considering talking to the Hokage about it but shrugged off since she already knew what happened. One thing for sure, Sakura's pride just went downhill. Sakura decided to take a walk to see if she could take her mind out of Naruto, but she couldn't, and the tears that she let fall for Sasuke when he left now returned, and she was feeling cold once again. She was feeling useless once again, like she didn't in whole 3 years. Sakura, since Naruto left, received a shower of arrogance after being announced the apprentice of the Hokage, since only Shizune was and she would be on the same level of authority. Since then, she berated people for it, literally shoving on their faces the fact that she was the apprentice of the Hokage and that everyone had to follow her orders. In fact, she was beginning to behave just like Sasuke and his whole, "I am an Uchiha," and "I deserve this and that." Even Ino, who was once her best friend, abandoned her and went on her way. But due to the fact that Ino was a medic nin just as Sakura, she had to obey her orders, but at least she wasn't her friend anymore. Now, Sakura was thinking about all the times she showed the Hokage's authority and she wished she could turn back in time. She somehow wished that Sasuke and Naruto were with her this moment and reassure her, or at least rise her confidence a little bit. Without knowing, she ended up on the hospital, since the track from her house to the hospital was memorized inside her mind since she did that all day. Deciding to try and talk to Ino, since the blonde kunoichi up to a time was her best friend. Since she was the one attending today, Ino was seen walking between the rooms in as to check the patients. It was easy to Sakura to spot her and begin the talking. "Hi Ino, how is going?" asked Sakura, with all the innocence possible so as to not show that she was an arrogant kunoichi who did nothing but boss around and show her arrogance throughout the hallway. But Ino was far from seeing that in Sakura. For a long time, all Sakura did was berate her, saying she was the apprentice of the Hokage. "What do you want, Sakura-sama?" reported Ino, almost saluting the Hokage herself, but in the most angry manner, showing to Sakura just how despicable her presence was to the others. Sakura, upon hearing the suffix, became wide-eyed in sadness. It was like she was brainwashed and couldn't remember what happened, but started looking down since she deserved the poor treatment. "Please don't call me Ino-chan. I'm sorry about all the times I showed authority when I never had in the first place. I'm your age and a chunin as well. I was so caught up on the fact that Hokage-sama nominated me as her apprentice that I started to behave arrogant and bossy, when actually I'm not even close to earn such respect," said Sakura, almost bursting in tears for such a thing. Now Ino for her part was looking at the eyes of her once best friend, trying to look for deception, but couldn't find none. Something must have happened to her to be like this. Ino decided to let go of the hate for a little bit and let the old friend inside again. "Sakura-chan, since Naruto left, you're nothing but an arrogant bitch who behaved like the Uchiha, believing that you had the authority from the Hokage. But I can see that you realized that and that you're trying to remedy that. Also, I believe that you wanted to talk to me about something. Come on, let's take a cup of coffee and relax a little bit," said Ino, seeing the sudden cheer appearing in Sakura's face. "Thank you, Ino-chan," said Sakura, as the girls went to the vending machine and each picked their choice of coffee and started the conversation that's been bugging her. "Okay, Sakura-chan, what you wanted to talk about?" Ino decided to start the conversation since Sakura was at first reluctant to tell. "It's about my team. Naruto left Team 7, said Sakura. "What? Why did he do that?" said Ino, thinking why the hell did Naruto decided to abandon Team 7. According to Kakashi-sensei, he asked to Tsunade-sama, time for him to train to the Chunin exams. Also, our last mission was not accomplished and I and Yamato couldn't stop blaming him for the failure, berating him on the entire trip home. Naruto changed Ino-chan. I can't see the old Naruto anymore, this one is determined, reserved. When we briefed the mission to Tsunade-sama, he took all the responsibility for the failure of the mission," said Sakura, explaining the details. "Well, Sakura-chan, since you wanted my opinion, I can say that Naruto was really fed up with you and you're berating him all the time. You remember at the academy, we didn't stop beating him because of Sasuke, and while you were in his team, you didn't stop beating him and calling him names. I mean, that isn't so much a person can take and doesn't do anything about it." "Yeah, but Kakashi-sensei told me that Naruto doesn't want to be in my life anymore, and come to think about, he was there for me even though I never was there for him, and it hurts really much. I don't know what to do to take this pain away," said Sakura, squeezing the place where her heart was located. "Sakura-chan, Time heals all wounds. Just wait and see what happens. Right now, there is nothing you can do about it. If what you said is true, then leave this thing be, and when the time comes, try and talk to him. Now, Sakura-chan, I have to go back to my shift, but if you want to talk about it, I'm here, okay? Said Ino with a smile. Okay, Ino-chan, thank you. Back at her place at night. Right now, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and Sakura still was awake, thinking only of Naruto and the mess she created. In fact, Sakura could not fall asleep at all. When the alarm clock biped 6 a.m., she remembered it was time to go Tsunade-sama's office for Team Kakashi's next assignment. The new Team 7 arrived at Tsunade's office. Sai and Kakashi appeared from a twirl of leaves and Sakura knocked on the door, 2 minutes later, for Kakashi to report. Team 7 reporting for duty, Hogage-sama. Tsunade forgot for a moment that Naruto wasn't on this team anymore and asked of his whereabouts and immediately corrected herself. However, at hearing the name, Sakura started to look down and feel sad for what happened. The reason why Sakura was sad wasn't entirely because of Naruto, but Sakura couldn't figure out why she was crying. It was most because of Naruto, but the whole reason of it. I figured for your expression, that you've already heard of Naruto? Asked Tsunade, seeing the sad look coming for the apprentice. Actually, out of Kakashi and Sai, Sakura would naturally suffer the most, since she would assume that Sasuke left because of her. Hi, Hokage-sama, hang in there, Sakura. He is Naruto, after all. He'll never quit, because of a petty adversity such as this one. This time was Kakashi to speak. Actually, Hokage-sama, I managed to talk to Naruto and I can't say I agree with you anymore in respect to Naruto's new behavior. He changed, he's not the same anymore. I know he changed, Kakashi, I could see his face and trust me, he's not the same as before. But I want to know what caused him to change that, and I know it wasn't just because of the mission. You're right, Tsunade-sama, it wasn't. Naruto, since he graduated for the academy, was treated like the dead last, the dobi, and for some reason everyone kept underestimating his abilities, every time believing that he needed to be protected. He was tired of being called knucklehead all the time, and the mission was just what was missing for him to snap and change like what you're seeing now. I see. Also, Hokage-sama, he no longer aspires to the Hokage position. Said Kakashi, delivering the bomb. Excuse me. Tsunade went in shock after such words from Kakashi. He told me that being known as the knucklehead as well as the Kyuubi container, not only the civilians would question him but also the shinobi population. Also, he didn't want to deal with more problems than he already faced, so he chose to become a part of Anbu Special Forces. A ninja that protects Konoha from behind the curtains. Explained Kakashi. Unbelievable. I guess even for Naruto, sometimes the person just needs time for himself. But I don't believe that's all of it. I could see very well in his eyes. He's not backing out of this Naruto we never met before. He is not the always smile and happy face that we came to know. This is a reserved shinobi, someone who doesn't want attention for himself. I'm afraid that the Uzumaki Naruto that we knew may never come again. Said Tsunade, already coming in terms with the new facts. Hi, Hokage-sama, said Kakashi, agreeing with the Hokage's assessment. Well, I have a B-ranked mission for Team Kakashi to accomplish. Actually, is an escort mission. The client will arrive here in 30 minutes. He's the son of the Fire Daimyo and he is heading for a diplomatic mission with Iwa. Your job is to escort him, guard his back when in Iwa and return him to the Daimyo's house. Understood? Hi, Hokage-sama, Kakashi promptly said, as he received the mission scroll from Tsunade. Everyone, meet me in 1 hour at the West Gate and pack for a period of 2 weeks travel. Sakura immediately thought back to her conversation with Kakashi and remembered that the Chunin exams were to be held in 2 weeks, allowing her the opportunity to see the new Naruto, and will become of his training. With Team Kakashi all gathered at Konoha's West Gate, the daimyo's son, Kenshin, introduced himself to everyone and they went away, straight to Iwa. When the alarm clock bipped 6 a.m., Naruto knew that it was time for him to toin for the Chunin exams. So, he took his list of things to improve on that he, together with Shikamaru, made last night. Now, the old Naruto would call Shikamaru crazy, stating that such training was impossible to do, but then he also would underestimate himself for even thinking he couldn't do it. Flashback. As Naruto got out of the Hokage monument, He was walking through Konoha with his hands on his pockets and with the same old apathetic look. But on the inside, his mind was racing through all the possibilities. He would like to spend some time fighting his clones to improve taijutsu and quick fighting skills as well as his ability to make quick decisions. After that came ninjutsu training. He also berated himself for having only 2 strong techniques, Kage Bunshin and Rasengan, and when he asked Jiraiya to teach him new ones, the pervy sage ended up saying that the Rasengan needed to be perfected. Meanwhile, Shikamaru was walking the other way, muttering himself over some troublesome argument he had with Temari over the fact that they would be working together for the upcoming Chunin exams that will be held. When he looked up, he saw Naruto and instantly noticed something different from the blonde. He remembered Temari saying that she heard some rumors regarding Naruto and that he changed 180 degrees after the failure of the mission that involved Sasuke Uchiha's retrieval. Shikamaru never liked the Uchiha that much and he was the cause of his first failure as a Chunin. Now, he was responsible of changing the forever happy Naruto. That, Shikamaru thought was near impossible and too damn troublesome to be true. But as he saw the look of Naruto, he chose to confirm the suspicions. "Hey Naruto, how's going?" greeted Shikamaru, seeing Naruto slowly lifting his head like it was too boring to do, let alone answering the question and starting a conversation with the lazy Chunin. "Fine Shikamaru, what you're up to?" "Oh nothing much, just thinking about my training routine. I have only 2 weeks and I need to start the training tomorrow," said Naruto, not even bothering to smile once to the lazy Chunin. Training for what? Shikamaru already knew of his attendance at the Chunin exams from Tsunade, but he didn't want to show Naruto that he already knew, since he would be one of the judges. But Shikamaru figured that Naruto would keep saying that he would become Chunin all the time as well as the whole, one next step to become Hokage, speech that was almost Naruto's mantra, but little did he know that this isn't the old Naruto anymore. If you don't know Shikamaru, it would be pointless to explain it to you. Besides, I'm busy right now. I need to plan a little schedule in order to better train myself. "See ya," said Naruto, earning glances from Shikamaru. Yep, he changed from water to oil. Shikamaru was in trance. Naruto didn't once tell him about the word Hokage and actually gave him a sarcastic remark. "It's for the Chunin exams, isn't it?" asked Shikamaru, wanting to hear more from the new Naruto. Shikamaru was getting more interest as the conversation was proceeding. "You're a real genius, Shikamaru. It took you a while to come to that answer. But I guess you already knew, didn't you? But then again, why would you try and deceive me like that and not come clean about it on the spot? Would you perhaps thought that I wouldn't know that? Please, Shikamaru, I don't need this, okay? I'm out of here," said Naruto with little to no emotion talk towards Shikamaru. For Shikamaru's part, he was stunned. He did thought that Naruto wouldn't be able to see underneath the underneath, but as he was saying with a cool voice, he was literally opened his mouth in amazement thinking this is some of dream or something. Little did he know that Naruto actually resented those who underestimated him and that Naruto on the inside was once again fuming. "Sorry about that, Naruto. I'm really Did you already come up with something like a schedule yet? Let me help you to make up for you." Shikamaru was impressed at his friend's sudden change of aspects that he vowed to help him. Now, Shikamaru was considering that this Chunin exams would be interesting as hell. "It's okay. I don't like to be underestimated, just keep that in mind, Shikamaru. As to the schedule, I figured that since I have an affinity with wind and water jutsus, it would be best for me to go at the Konoha library and study about it, but I was thinking of study precise chakra control, since I sincerely lack of and some fast taijutsu practice." No doubt about it, he really changed up to the point where no one can recognize him anymore, thought Shikamaru, while looking at the new Naruto. "Say, Naruto, you want me to make a training schedule for you to keep up? What do you have in mind?" Naruto asked, keeping his guard down for a moment. Shikamaru, then, wrote a list of subjects to study and practice and handed to Naruto. The list involved a period of 15 days training. It started with chakra control exercises within the 3 first days. Shikamaru also wrote some books for Naruto to pick, followed by 2 days studying the essences of wind jutsus and weaknesses of such jutsu nature. Then, 2 days with wind chakra exercise and manipulation, followed by a collection of wind jutsus to learn and practice in 3 days period. On the list, Shikamaru suggested at least to master 3 wind techniques. The last part of the schedule involved water style essence and weakness for 2 days and water jutsu practice, also suggested 3 techniques, for the last 2 days. The last day is meant to Naruto rest for the Chunin exams. Let me see. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I want to train some taijutsu as well. So how about take 1 day of studying the essence of water jutsu, so I can, on the 14th day of my training, focus on martial arts with my clones. Okay, then, so since you will spend less time with water techniques, I suggest you try harder the 2 days available for this task. Easy. I just don't sleep at all, surely I can keep up with this routine. Hey Naruto, remember that this type of training is almost impossible to conclude, so try not to overdo it. If you're starting to get low on chakra, rest a little bit. Whatever you do, in order to complete your training, you cannot use 1 full day for rest. I know that, Shikamaru. I'm actually surprised you cared so much, said Naruto in a sarcastic manner, much to Shikamaru's dismay, figuring that this Naruto gained a little sarcastic behavior. Well, I was only trying to help you, but since you know what to do, I'll leave you be. I always found strange that you have such abnormal chakra capacity, but that's another mystery that is Uzumaki Naruto. Anyway, I will be the judge of the Chunin exams and I will be seeing you personally. Since you don't like to be underestimated, I'm thinking about raising the grade limit for you to become a Chunin. You will be required to be more than just Chunin material to Konoha. You would have to be Chunin material up to my standards, and I assure you it won't be easy. Said Shikamaru, challenging Naruto, but no in a threatening level. The tougher, the better, Shikamaru. I'll be seeing you then. Take it easy and say hi to Tamari for me. Tell her that I want a match against her in Futen Ninjutsu after I'm done with the Chunin exams. Said Naruto as he began to walk towards his apartment. I will. Wait, said Shikamaru, and already cursed himself for thinking that Naruto knew of Tamari and him or not. You changed to quite an interesting guy, Naruto. I'll be seeing you at the Chunin exams. End flashback. This time, Naruto didn't wear his black-orange outfit. Instead he wore an outfit that he used when training with Jiraiya, that is black pants and dark gray blouse, since he made a decision to eliminate all the orange. In order to prevent cold looks from Konoha's population, Naruto jumped from roof to roof until he arrived in front of the Konoha library. During his travel, he sensed the presence of all the Rookie 9 training, except for Sakura, which could only mean that Team Kakashi were on a mission outside of Konoha. Actually, Naruto improved his skills of chakra sense during his training with Jiraiya. Hyuga Neji, family prodigy and now Konoha Junin, activated his Kekkei Genkai and spotted a figure jumping from roof to roof and a very high speed even for his Byakugan to follow, and knew right away who the speeder was. Uzumaki Naruto. Neji gave a little laugh, stating he indeed have changed, as he was nothing like before. Then Neji was caught by surprise when he saw that Naruto was actually looking at him from a considerable distance away, with an indifferent expression in his face, though. Actually, everyone who knew him instantly thought the same thing as Neji. Neji came to know from rumors that Naruto would be participating on the next Chunin exams, and he wanted to know how was his training with the Sannin Jiraiya. I'll do everything to see Naruto's improvement in the exam. When Naruto arrived in front of the library, he remembered his very words in reference to the library. Never would I step my foot in this hellhole. But he knew that if he wanted to grow as a ninja, he had no choice but to study Konoha books. Once inside, Naruto handed to the librarian a list with all the books he'd be needing for his training. Excuse me, miss, can I have these books? Well, certainly. Can I see your library card? I don't have one. It's my first time here. Oh, I see, so tell me your name, age and ninja rank for me to fulfill the necessary forms. Certainly. Naruto Uzumaki, genin of Konoha, 15 years old. Okay, all set. Now, let's get those books you requested, shall we? Said the librarian as she instantly found all the books and handed to Naruto. Thanks, miss. Oh, and Naruto, your time limit is in 20 days from now, enjoy. With that, Naruto exited the library, packed all the books in a scroll and went like a bullet to his home in order to start studying. What Naruto didn't know was that the librarian reported to Lady Tsunade a list of all the books requested by the new shinobi as a way of seeing if their shinobi would expand their knowledge. At the Hokage's office, after reading the report, Tsunade was surprised that Naruto of all people would go to the library, but she realized that Naruto isn't the same as he was before, which frightened her a little bit. Right now she couldn't decide if she should feel happy or sad for Naruto. Happy because the blonde shinobi would finally follow the right tracks, and sad because he isn't the same overconfident Naruto who convinced her of becoming Godem Hokage. She was really confused. At that moment, Shizune entered the room and saw the Hokage lost in thought. "I presume it's about Naruto," started Shizune. She already told Tsunade about Naruto's training from Jiraiya and was scared of her master. Tsunade was fuming with anger at the Toad Sannin, since he was practically the reason why he was like he is now, but after some time she calmed herself, since she was getting eager to see the new Naruto. "You're a genius, how could you tell?" said Tsunade with sarcasm, actually in the same way as Naruto's new characteristic. "He is going to be strong, Tsunade-sama. I don't know, but when he talked to me and Kurenai yesterday morning, there was something that he did to us, that we just couldn't see the old Naruto anymore. He was able to beat the two of us just with words. And to believe that he is at least 10 years younger than us. Rest assured, Tsunade-sama, he will be strong, mark my words for it. Do you think he'll ever forgive Sakura and Yamato for what they done to him? Hard to tell. He always smiled at tense situations. And since I saw that look on his face I was paralyzed. I've never seen him like that. The events that succeeded really changed his way of thinking. He is not the brat we all know. He is a man now. He is a ninja of the leaf," said Shizune with a hint of newfound pride when talking about her brother. After wonderful words given by Shizune, Tsunade suffered a small surge of adrenaline in her body. She could not wait to see how strong he will become at the Chunin exams and in the future. At Naruto's apartment, after 3 hours of studying chakra control, Naruto decided to take a break and try a chakra focus exercise that he learned from the book. The exercise consisted on focusing chakra on the user's feet, sticking them to the wall, then climbs up the wall until you reach the ceiling and stay upside down for 1 hour. At first, Naruto thought it was impossible. But in the middle of the exercise, he realized that it was not that hard, that he could hold on much longer than 1 hour. After 2 hours, Naruto felt his legs trembling, so he released it and fell smoothly on this apartment floor. The emotion he felt when he completed the exercise was overwhelming. When he went to see the exercise in the book, he noticed that on the next page, it showed a score. If you manage to stay 1 hour hanged, you have chakra control equivalent to a mid-Chunin level. If you went up to 2 hours, you are at least high Chunin level. At the end of the first day, Naruto already have up to 65 effective chakra control. When he read the second book on the second day, he noticed that the focus now was using techniques. He learned how to use the correct amount of chakra for ninjutsus from all classes, from E to S, in order to save the largest amount of chakra possible. Since Naruto had an explosive amount of chakra, if he managed to use just the necessary amount of chakra for each technique, it would take a miracle for him to ever suffer from chakra exhaustion. When the second book was done, Naruto decided to experiment something he never tried before, doing Rasengan without the need of a shadow clone. At first, he couldn't do it properly and the energy went unstable, breaking a little piece of the living room's wall. He remembered what the book said about channeling just the necessary amount of chakra in order to do it, not just trying to assume the quantity. The second time, he still couldn't do it completely, but the energy ball did appear on his hand. The third time he completed the ball of energy completely and without the need for clones. On the third and final day of chakra control practice, the third and final book consisted on high Junin level chakra control and medical chakra control. He figured that he would be satisfied of having as much chakra control as a high-level Junin, so he concentrated on the first part of the book. Safe to say that the third day was the hardest of all so far, because Naruto was having trouble to understand how effective was a high-level Junin's chakra control. The book seems to show two theories. One, that the amount of chakra control is directly linked to the amount of chakra that a ninja has, and the second is the effectiveness of the ninja's chakra control. If Naruto were to base on the first theory, he would be Kage level, because of the excessive amount of chakra he have combined with Kyuubi's chakra. But since Naruto, because of his battle with Orochimaru, decided not to use the demon's chakra again, just his own, which by far passed Kakashi's. So, he decided to train according to the second theory. The book, after the theories, was divided in 2 parts, explaining the first and second theory from history to practice. When Naruto reached the end of the book, he was marveled at all the information he gasped from. To believe that chakra control had so much information, I always thought that it was a simple thing that everyone could learn in a simple way. I must remember to thank Shikamaru for the books that suggested. Naruto came to realize that out of the Rookie 9, there were few he could actually be fond of. Shikamaru was one of them and possibly Neji, but he was not a part of the Rookie 9, since he is a year older than Naruto. When he reached for the last exercise of the book, he noticed that the completion consisted of performing 10 cage bunchins and engage in a fight with all of them at the same time for a period of 1 hour and a half. Oh, 1 hour and a half. That's even possible? Questioned Naruto. Remembering his training with Jiraiya, longer he ever reached was 1 hour and with 5 shadow clones. It was beginning to get dark outside, and he knew that if he wanted to conclude chakra control exercise, he would have to go outdoors. So he went to the place that, other than Kakashi and the third Hokage, no one knew of, so he could get some privacy. Naruto went to the Hokage mountain, and performed the necessary hand seals, screaming with such joy, "Kage Bunshin no Jutsu." All of a sudden 10 Naruto clones appeared from nowhere and turned facing Naruto. He realized that the exercise didn't only involve chakra control training but also taijutsu training, so he chose to use the weights he used when training with Jiraiya. Then, Naruto turned to see his 10 clones smiling at him like they already knew what they were to do. Naruto for his part was looking at each of them, studying each of their reactions, and surprisingly to say that even though they were clones, there were some of them that were smiling, while the rest of them were like the new Naruto, looking at the original with determined face. "Okay, clones, you know what to do. Come at me and fight. Let's rock," said all the clones screaming together as they charged against the real Naruto. Meanwhile, around the Hokage monument, Neji was doing patrol duty near that area, and with his Byakugan, he spotted 11 Narutos on top of the Hokage mountain and gasped in surprise. He's actually trying that exercise. I've never seen anyone actually able to complete the exercise, let alone go even further. Actually, Shikamaru was partnering with Neji for patrol duty and laughed at Neji's surprised expression and said, "You know, I also wasn't sure he could do it when I suggested that book for him." "You what?" "Yeah, me and Naruto formulated his train schedule for 2 weeks. "Oh, I see. He's not the same as before, Neji. That's a fact. I'm in fact worried that he can be stronger than I am. I think he will be stronger than anyone in this village. He actually has affinity with wind and water jutsus, which already prove that he can become at least Junin. If he manages to control the fire element, he will be unstoppable. I better train harder. He won't beat me ever again." Shikamaru could only laugh about it. Even if Naruto changed his personality, he still could make everyone inspired to do their best. Hell, even I suffer a burst of excitement when I look at him, so troublesome, thought Shikamaru. Back with Naruto. Half an hour has passed since the beginning of the fight and not a single sweat appeared in his face. He was feeling more alive than ever, being able to anticipate every move the clones charge at him and attacking as well. Since the main training was about chakra control, his clones would take the attack but did not evaporate, since Naruto was channeling chakra as a way of using the Kage Bunshin technique. The exercise consisted on a constant channeling of chakra in order to keep the bunshins from disappearing after contact. After the time limit for the exercise approached, Naruto signed for every clone to stop at his tracks and then released the technique. He was glad that he managed to complete a high Junin level exercise and had to admit that he was a little tired. After all, he just trained equivalent to 10 shinobis, since the clone's memory went to him after disappearing. Remembering to Shikamaru's suggestion, Naruto went straight to bed and fell asleep soon after. The first part of the training was complete and now was time for elemental jutsu training. On the next day, Tsunade was looking at the report on guard duty from Neji and Shikamaru over and over again. She didn't believe that Naruto would be so caught up on his training that he would consider that exercise. The fact that he succeeded, it was a feat itself. Tsunade just couldn't wait for the results of Naruto's training, so she requested Neji and Shikamaru's presence immediately at her office. "You called us, Hokage-sama?" prompted Neji first. "Yes, I did. I've seen your report on yesterday's guard duty and noticed that you guys spotted Naruto performing high-level Junin chakra control exercise." "Precisely, Hokage-sama," Shikamaru said slowly. It was tough just to read what was said at the report, but it was tougher to actually hear a Junin and Chunin confirm the situation. She did know that Naruto took that book with the exercise, but she didn't know that he would try to perform that exercise let alone complete it. Right now what scared her the most was that with all experience she had by seeing other shinobis, she could not grasp the full extent of Naruto's growth. For her, Naruto will be forever an unsolved puzzle that even Shikamaru wouldn't be able to solve. But that was a good thing, she thought. He has high probabilities of becoming Konoha's strongest ninja alive at some time in the future. Just by imagining what would Naruto show for her, she was biting her lips just bearing what he could accomplish. Never in her life had she suffered from anticipation. Meanwhile, Neji and Shikamaru were staring at Tsunade, when she was thinking the whole time. "Ah, excuse me, Tsunade-sama. Did you call us here just to comment on the report or is it anything else?" said Shikamaru, slightly bothered by the Hokage spacing out. "What? Oh, sorry about that, I was caught in my thoughts. Yes, Neji, I want you to report to me about Naruto's training, but only after the Chunin exams." "Got it? You want me to spy on him? Any problem with that, Junin?" said Tsunade, showing her scary face to Neji. "At all, Hokage-sama. Wait, but why only after the Chunin exams?" he mused. "But why is she asking me to do that? Call it intuition, if you want, but I'm not sure if he's going to show his full power at the exam and I need to know what he can do, in order to know what to do to him." "But Hokage-sama, it will be very easy for him to know I'm spying on him," said Neji, remembering the event that Naruto was looking at him from a distance. "Explain yourself, Hyuga. With your Byakugan, you can see almost the entire village, just how can he sense you're watching him?" Now this had even Shikamaru was interested. Just how could Naruto see that Neji was spying on someone? 4 days ago, I saw Naruto heading to the library jumping from roof to roof, and I can tell you that the distance between him and me was almost 2 miles. He actually looked in my direction and kept looking at me with such apathy looks, just like he knew it was me. I believe that he could sense someone's chakra from a distance, Hokage-sama." "Really? This must have been Jiraiya's doing. He must have taught Naruto some tracking skills. Damn him. Well, do your best, think of it as a stealth exercise." "Hi, Hokage-sama. So, Shikamaru, do you have any information about the new Naruto that you would like to share with us?" "Only that he has affinity with both Fuuten and Suiten techniques," told Shikamaru, actually telling them a truth, but not the truth that he was responsible for setting his schedule for his training. "That Kakashi already told me." "Well, both of you dismissed. Neji, I'm cooing on you." "Hi, Hokage-sama," said both of them as they vanished afterwards. At Naruto's house. Back at Naruto's house, he was now caught studying the history of Fuuten jutsus and its essence, so focused that he didn't sense Neji spying on him. Since Naruto didn't want to go out just yet, he ordered some pork ramen from Ichiraku's by sending a small toad to the place. After 20 minutes, Ayame rang the bell of Naruto's apartment and delivered Naruto's order to him. "Thank you, Ayame-san. You're welcome, Naruto-kun." Ayame was blushing madly. She knew Naruto and at first she still saw the kid that always ate ramen, but this one was different. This was a man and he was handsome as hell. She blushed madly, while having perverted thoughts of the blonde shinobi. After that, she left his apartment and made a mental note to be the one delivering the next time just to see him again. At that time, Neji could have sworn that Naruto had seen him where he was hiding, but then decided that he couldn't notice me without Neji aware of it. Naruto, after finishing his meal, continued reading his book, but he couldn't help but wonder why Neji was spying on him. In fact, he knew that he couldn't train in a secret manner, but to actually put a Junin to see what Naruto was doing was something Naruto didn't expect from Tsunade. "Oh well, I think I've scared everyone with my new way of thinking," concluded Naruto. Since elemental training was new to him, it took a little longer to understand than the chakra control exercises, but when the day became night, Naruto managed to cut a leaf in half, being this one of the exercises of the book. The book said that in order to have full control of Fuuten chakra, a ninja would have to slice water current. All he could think of was to practice it just outside Konoha where a waterfall was located. Actually, Naruto was ahead of his schedule, since he only needed 1 day to fully learn Fuuten chakra and now was doing wind chakra exercises. He figured that he could practice 1 more day of taijutsu, in order to complete his schedule for the Chunin exams. On the next day, Neji was having trouble finding Naruto, since Naruto wasn't inside the city. Actually, he was training outside the walls of the hidden village. At the waterfall, Naruto stands on top of a rock in the middle of the waterfall, in order to start practicing the last and most difficult exercise he ever had to do. When he put his hands almost touching the water current, he already was injecting a little wind chakra into the current. Not quite cutting the water, but he could see, after 1 hour of practice, a small gap caused by his chakra. After amazing 4 years trying, Naruto managed to slice completely the water current, now possessing full control over food and chakra. Since he still had 3 hours left of practice, he made some hand signs and screamed once again, "Kage Bunshin no Jutsu." This time, 20 Narutos showed up. This time, Neji sensed a presence outside Konoha and found the clones charging at Naruto, with all they got. Neji was furious with Naruto. "Damn you, Naruto. You were here the entire time. I was looking for you all day." Neji was now hidden behind a big oak tree to analyze Naruto's fight with his clones, but something wasn't quite right about Naruto's chakra. When Neji used his Byakugan, he noticed the presence of food and chakra floating throughout Naruto's tenketsus. When did he manage to control his first affinity so quickly, and without me noticing? He must have mastered, while I was looking for him. Damn, Naruto did a section of defensive taijutsu with his clones, up to the point that he could properly defense and minimize the blow, only by using defensive taijutsu. After some time, the sky went dark and Naruto went straight home to rest, same as Neji. Since the next day was meant for Naruto to complete the waterfall slice exercise, he decided to take it easy and read the collection of food and jutsus from one of the scrolls he picked at the library. From the list of food and techniques, Naruto managed to choose 3 techniques that would best fit his needs. Fuutonsuigadan no Jutsu. 1. Technique similar to Hyuga's ultimate defense, but served as offense. To perform the technique, first the ninja had to make the following a sequence of hand signs, then the ninja needed to perform a spin as well as expel wind chakra from his body, in order to create a powerful hurricane. Fuuton Rasengan. This technique Naruto invented. It involved the real Rasengan with little food and chakra in it, creating a ball of energy with a cutting ring around it. Very effective. Fuutondaitoppa no Jutsu. 2. A breakthrow. It's when the ninja put the hand close to his mouth and blow a large gust of wind, leveling almost anything in its way. Naruto had 3 days to master all these techniques. So he used the rest of his free time to meditate about the upcoming training period and went to sleep afterwards, not before noticing Neji's image, reflecting from the moonlight. When Naruto woke up, a huge burst of ecstasy ran through his body and he was shaking from all the excitement he was feeling. Today, he is beginning to add new jutsus to his arsenal. After breakfast and a quick cold shower to wake up, he went straight to his favorite training ground, on top of the Hokage mountain. Hoping that Neji wouldn't spy on him, Naruto decided to get there at maximum speed to prevent his spy from following him, which actually worked. He did not sense Neji's presence anywhere. It was time for Naruto's first jutsu, the Fuuton Suigadan no Jutsu. Before he began, he looked at the book to memorize the hand seals sequence, which wasn't all that difficult at all. After a few tries, without channeling chakra, Naruto did perfectly the seals needed for the technique. Next, was his time to try performing the jutsu. This time, Naruto had some trouble, since his spin movement wasn't quite as accurate as the scroll said, slowing his training a bit. After having another peek at the scroll, he understood the movement. When he tried the next time, a big and strong hurricane appeared around Naruto, but something still wasn't right, since the hurricane wasn't going anywhere, so what Naruto needed to do was to focus more on food and chakra in order to control the hurricane and he was good to go. Meanwhile with Neji was searching for Naruto nearby, and he saw what appeared to be a big tornado coming towards him, obligating him to dodge it. But, because of the strong wind, Neji was thrown away and landed with his back on a tree, breaking some of his bones. "Oh, so much pain," screamed Neji. Neji had to crawl into Konoha Hospital and luckily for him, Tsunade was visiting the facilities and noticed that Neji was crying in pain at the reception. "How can I help you, Neji-san?" asked the attendant. "My back hurts like hell, I need a doctor ASAP." "What the fuck happened, Neji?" Tsunade appeared out of nothing, scaring Neji and increasing his pain a bit. "Hurry, put him in a room for examination." I'll personally heal him. Certainly Tsunade-sama. After fixing Neji's broken ribs, Tsunade asked. Let me guess, Naruto? I think so. I was searching near the Hokage Moten for him, when a tornado appeared out of nothing and I had to dodge, but because of the strong wind, I went flying and hit my back pretty hard. It seems that Naruto is training Futon techniques, but creating a tornado is something I've only read in books. I never saw before. Because of the extent of Neji's wound, he stayed at the hospital for the day and left the day after. Back with Naruto. Meanwhile, at the Hokage monument the entire ground was covered with holes. Naruto was caught sweating and laughing like a maniac. He was so thrilled that he forgot the Daitopa jutsu. Oh, I remember picking tree food and jutsus. Ah, there is the Daitopa. Okay, so the book said to focus food and chakra in your lungs. Put a hand close to the mouth and release all the air accumulated in your lungs, filled with chakra. Naruto managed to make quite a strong wind in his first try, but he knew he could make a stronger if he concentrated better. It was the last day of Futon training, and he, after completing the Futon Rasengan and the Daitopa, Naruto let his brain work. What if I use a shadow clone to pump more Futon chakra into the Rasengan? There is a high possibility that I can create a much more powerful Rasengan which can manage to cut the object more than one time. Not having second thoughts, Naruto created a single Kage Bunshin without the need for seals and channeled the Futon Rasengan together with his clone, causing the transformation of a big shuriken with the energy ball in the middle. Naruto, because of the strong wind leaving his hands, fought to remain standing as the giant wind shuriken is now circulating his hands. Now, time for a target, said Naruto, spotting a few trees right in front of him. As the technique touched one of the trees, a huge typhoon circulated around the strike area, cutting and slicing everything that was near. Shikamaru, who was the nearest from the area, heard the huge noise and looked up only to see the giant typhoon still in full power and Naruto smiling right near it. Naruto fell happily on the floor, grasping how much his power improved and thinking of a name for his ultimate jutsu. I think I'll call this technique Futonrasenshuriken. Yes, that's a great name. After regaining his forces, Naruto went home to sleep. Even Naruto, whose chakra was unlimited, was beginning to feel some pain in his body, because of the excessive training, so he went to bed as soon as he reached his home. But one thing was passing through his mind, about a small note on Futon chakra book that said that the ninja also can channel wind chakra in weapons, just like Sarutobi Osamu's twin knives. If Naruto managed to join Anbu forces, he would get a katana and would be a great advantage to him if he could learn kenjutsu, weapon fight. Since the last part of the training involved Suiten jutsus, Naruto was looking forward to using this type of jutsu for defensive, other than offensive. But, that would have to wait. The blonde shinobi needed to rest more than he usually does, so he set up his alarm clock to 10 a.m., instead of 6 a.m. Yeah, that would do it, said Naruto, almost snoring. The next day, as the alarm rang, Naruto woke up. He managed to rest just enough to regain his 100 energy. Putting a white t-shirt and his usual black pants, he picked up the books about food and jutsus and started reading all of them. Minus 10 days time skip. 10 days went by as Naruto started his training. Kakashi, Sai, Sakura and Kenshin already left Iwa and were heading straight to the Fire Daimyo's house, the last part of their mission. It involved a 2-day travel, since they were moving in a slow pace. Suddenly, Kenshin turned to talk to Team Kakashi and wondered where was the last member of the team, since his father, the Fire Daimyo, mentioned that the team who would be escorting him would be a 4-man unit. So, Kakashi-san, what? Didn't your team have a 4th member? Where is he? Actually, yeah, there was. But the Godem gave him another mission to attend. Well, it wasn't totally true, but the client didn't need to know that. Oh, I see, concluded Kenshin, but being an excellent observer, he noticed Sakura's sudden burst of sadness and decided not to comment about the subject anymore. After a few miles travel, Team Kakashi escorted the daimyo's son safely to his father's house and Kenshin thanked everyone for escorting him and said goodbye. There was only 3 days left for the Chunin exams, so Team Kakashi decided to speed the travel back to Konoha, so they can watch Naruto's performance. On the way back, Kakashi talked to Sakura. Sakura, what's on your mind? You think he will ever forgive me, Kakashi-sensei? Hard to say, that guy is an enigma. You never know what he's thinking. Kakashi-sensei, be straight with me. What do you know of Naruto's training? Only his jutsu affinities. Plural? Yes, Naruto has affinity with Futon and Suiten jutsus. Really? That's great. Oh, what's the need? I don't expect to talk with him ever again, so I'm pretty much all alone, again. Sakura, what you're feeling right now, it's pretty much what Naruto felt his entire life. That may come as a surprise to you, Kakashi-sensei, but I've never noticed how sad he really was until the day that Yamato and I just blamed him for everything that went wrong. I see. It really surprised me to know that Yamato would blame Naruto in such a way. By all means, it was most surprising, the fact that you blamed him for everything. On that day, I was so frustrated for not bringing back Sasuke-kun, that I blamed Naruto, instead of dealing with the failure myself. Now, it's too late, I'm afraid. From what I heard, he's already a whole different person. I don't think we'll ever get to see the old Naruto again. This time, Sai, who didn't open his mouth to say anything, stepped in the conversation. Naruto-kun will get stronger like never before. He's going to be one of the greatest weapons of Konoha. Needless to say, both Sakura and Kakashi nodded in agreement. Back at Konoha, Naruto was found at the same place he practiced the slice waterfall technique, but now he was standing on top of the river, completing his final Suiten chakra exercise, which involved making a little whirlpool for 15 minutes. Actually, Naruto already chose the techniques that he would like to master. Suiten Suishuuha no Jutsu. 3. After performing a sequence of hand seals, a wall of water would appear around the ninja, protecting him against attacks in all directions, but had a weakness. Once the ninja performed the technique, he wouldn't be able to see what the enemy would do next. After the water protect the ninja, he or she can transform the barrier into a tsunami and throw at the opponent. Suiten Suiryuudan no Jutsu. 5. An offensive attack. The ninja form Water Dragon in order to attack the enemy. The number of dragons would depend on the ninja's chakra used on the technique. Suiten Gyorai Shin no Jutsu. 6. The real purpose of this jutsu was to stop the enemy's movement, since it would be required an evasive technique in order to dodge all of the water needles. Suiten Uzumaki no Jutsu. 7. This jutsu involved the use of wind chakra along with water surface, in order to create a whirlpool that can serve as a protection or as an attack. Since all Suiten techniques needed only knowledge of hand signs, other than attack positions, Naruto nailed all 3 techniques in just 4 hours, ending the training schedule he and Shikamaru made. Since he still had a day and a half to train, Naruto chose to release the chakra on this feat and relaxed at the lake. Swimming, diving, taking a little nap. He even hanged a cage bunshin into a floating bed for cry out loud. The last day of training. On the last day, Naruto decided to enjoy his bedroom more than ever and slept all morning. In the afternoon, Shikamaru decided to stop by to see how the training went, as well as pick up the books that Naruto picked at the library since someone important needed them. Actually, he was here to see Naruto, but the goddamn librarian asked him to pick up the books. Troublesome. Oi Naruto, are you there? Screamed Shikamaru, in order to see if the blonde was home. You don't have to scream, you know, I actually have neighbors. Said Naruto in a sarcastic manner, much to Shikamaru's dismay at hearing an actual sarcastic comment from Naruto. Can I come in? By all means, can I get you anything? No thanks. So, Naruto, did you manage to complete our schedule? I sure did, even though I thought that was near impossible. I never knew such a lazy person such as yourself could come up with such a training. You actually gave a new meaning to the phrase, those who can't do teach. Said Naruto, actually making Shikamaru laugh for the first time, from the funny, smart comment. Ha ha ha, actually I didn't know what was I thinking when I did that schedule. Only a mad person would accomplish. Well, come to think about it, only you could, since you are the most troublesome person I've ever met. Seriously, Naruto, don't you rest ever in your life. If you stopped 1 second to just watch the clouds, you would see the beauty of it. I resent that, you know. Those books were really helpful, and for the last comment, I wouldn't manage to just stare at the clouds 1 minute, before I kill myself out of boredom. But then again, only a lazy ass such as yourself would be able to just look at nothing and find something. Said Naruto, smiling at his friends mumbling something like, troublesome blonde, and his sarcastic remarks. Yes, Well, for as much as I want to continue with this interesting slash troublesome conversation, there is another thing I came here to talk to you about. Actually, there were two things I wanted to talk to you about. What is it, Shikamaru? Well, first of all, the books you took were to be returned 2 days ago and you still didn't return it. The troublesome librarian asked me to pick them for her. I would prefer if you would be the one returning them. I'm not in the mood of driving my legs there again today, and I'm considering a little nap sometime today, said Shikamaru, earning a lifted eyebrow from Naruto, since Shikamaru was behaving well like Shikamaru behaved normally, lazy. Hey, but she said I had 20 days. I know I have at least 2 more days with these books, not that I'm reading them anymore, and I was considering in returning them first thing tomorrow morning, said Naruto, scratching the back of his head in protest. Yeah, but a very important Junin requested 2 days ago those books and they have preference, you know that. Personally, I think it's damn troublesome that the librarian used me for such a thing, but since I was coming here anyway, but still is too damn troublesome and such a pain in the ass. Okay, Shikamaru, if you use the word troublesome one more time, I might actually think that you rattle all your emotions as being troublesome. Come to think about it, all I hear is you saying troublesome. You know there are more words in the dictionary. I'll ask Gamatotsu 8 to deliver the books for me, although I wished he didn't want any more chocolate bars. I have to think about getting more of them, said Naruto, not at all paying attention to the look of wonder that Shikamaru was displaying. Plain, simple and to the point. That's all that Shikamaru could say, after not only hearing Naruto pretty much saying troublesome words, as well as saying that he will call Gamma or something. Oh, I'm sorry, I never told you I had a summon contract. Here, let me introduce you, said Naruto as he was going through the hand seals after biting her finger. Kuchiyose no Jutsu, 9. From a puff of smoke, a toad from the size of Naruto appeared, with a war vest and 2 swords strapped on his back. Shikamaru, meet Gamatotsu, one of my partners in crime, said Naruto as he slammed his hand on Gamatotsu's back, grinning like a maniac towards his toad friend, knowing that the latter did this a lot of times before, and well, a slam from a toad hurts as hell, even if it's just friendly manner. How are you doing, bro? Despite the fact that you just slammed really hard on my shoulders, and rest assured, I'm going to get you for that, said Gamatotsu, smiling in an evil manner towards his human friend, showing him that next time he may not be so friendly. I'm fine, Gamatotsu, just returning all those slaps you gave me back then, and besides, what I just did to you didn't even compare to the ones you gave me. The last one actually left your paw print on my shoulders, oh so have you know. Smiled Naruto as he was literally taunting a battle toad who, by the way, had 2 swords and wasn't afraid to use it. Hey, fun times. So Naruto, what can I do for you? Can you deliver these books to the librarian for me? Said Naruto. Sure, but what's in it for me? Said Gamatotsu, much to Naruto's dismay, since such toad was in fact a greedy bastard. How about 1 chocolate bar as well as scaring the librarian a little bit, you know, like good old days, said Naruto, earning smiles from his partner in crime as well as Shikamaru, since he as well wouldn't mind scaring that lady a little bit, since he didn't like being a messenger. Make it 2 chocolate bars, and you got a deal. You are one greedy toad, you know that, right? Fine, 2 it is. Man, I have to get extra supply of those chocolate bars if I want your help in the future. But then I guess I'm glad you're not your father, because if you were, I would have to buy the whole chocolate factory just to fill him. Done, said the toad, vanishing. At the library, the toad disappeared and appeared right next to the librarian, scaring the hell out of her. Actually, he threw the books at her while making some scary face, courtesy of Uzumaki Naruto and his well-known pranks throughout the shinobi countries. I'm here to deliver Uzumaki Naruto's books, screamed Gamatotsu. Aw thanks, being that all that she could say given the fact that a human-sized toad with 2 swords strapped on his back, screaming at her and making scary face. You're welcome, bye. Strange character, aren't you, Naruto? Back at Naruto's apartment. I'm back, Naruto, where are my bars? Here we go. Thanks, see ya, bye, say hello to Bunta for me. Okay, so, Shikamaru, what was the other thing you wanted to talk to me about? Oh yeah, Tsunade wants to talk to you at 6 p.m. about the Chunin exams. Actually, she called for both of us. Okay, I'll be there. At Tsunade's office. When the clock inside Tsunade's room showed 6 p.m., Shikamaru and two ninjas were waiting for Naruto to arrive. At least, he didn't change the fact that he always late to arrive here. I wouldn't say that, Hokage-sama. Naruto, out of nowhere, appeared from a puff of smoke. What the F? You scared me, you know. My apologies. You called for me, Tsunade-sama. For some reason, she was expecting to hear Tsunade-ba-chan, but it never came out. I can see you changed dramatically. And that she meant that he was Minato with different clothes. His hair grew a little bit and his muscles were showing more because of his outfit. Really? Is that noticeable? Have you looked yourself in the mirror? Your clothes change. That color of your blouse really suited you. Your face expression is very experienced, Naruto. You're definitely changed a lot. Tsunade-sama is hitting on Naruto? Troublesome, thought Shikamaru. Well, your request was to train for the Chunin exams that will start tomorrow and said Tsunade until she was cut out by Naruto. Excuse me, Tsunade-sama? Naruto said in a polite and respectful manner, frightening Tsunade like anything. Never in her whole life would see Naruto as polite. Yes? Did you call Kakashi-sensei here as well? Said Naruto as he sensed the presence of the lazy Junin approaching the office. Actually yeah, I did. How do you know that? Because he's going to knock on your door right now. At the sound of Kakashi's knocking, everyone in the room froze and Naruto smiled. Enter Kakashi, Tsunade ordered, giving the creeps out of the Junin who figured that the Hokage was spying on him or something. How did you know it was me, Tsunade-sama? I didn't say my name. Ask your student. He sensed your chakra approaching and enunciated your arrival. Said Tsunade, smiling towards Naruto. Kakashi turned to see a 200-changed Naruto and widened his eyes in surprise. Naruto, is that really you? Asked the one-eyed Junin, thinking he was hallucinating since he swore he had seen his sensei giving him a little grin and say, surprise. It's been a while, Kakashi-sensei, how you've been? I was normal until now. I see you are stronger than before. Enough Kakashi. So Naruto, I want you to meet your team for the Chunin exams. Katoshi Saito and Midori Tonari, they will take the Chunin exams with you, since their teammate is not in conditions to do the exam. Nice to meet you both. Said a shadow figure just behind the new ninjas. Actually, Naruto decided to do a little demonstration of his skills to everyone by performing a single kage bunshin to appear behind the two genins, but it was so quick that the Hokage was in shock when she realized what Naruto had done. After seeing an exact copy of the blonde shinobi behind them, Saito and Tonari could only jump in surprise. I didn't know that he improved that much. What type of training did he go through? Kakashi wondered. So, introduce yourselves, so I can meet my team better. Said Naruto, causing the young genins to promptly present themselves. Saito went first. Katoshi Saito, 13 years old. My sensei is Aoba, and I have large experience in taijutsu and fire-type jutsu. My dream for the future is to succeed almost impossible missions and be one strong Junin. Midori Tonari, 13 years old. My sensei is Aoba, as well. I have affinity with water-type jutsu, taijutsu and a little kenjutsu. I want to be the best Konoha's swordsman. Since you all introduced yourself, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, 15 years old, and my sensei is here with us, Kakashi-sensei. I have experience with wind and water jutsus, as well as excellent chakra control and taijutsu. I want to become a part of Anbuin in the future, an elite Junin. Nice to meet you, Uzumaki-san. Both genins said together. Since you all already know each other, you three are dismissed. Kakashi and Shikamaru, you stay. I need to talk to the both of you. With that, the three genins left in order to get to know each other, since Naruto asked them to show what they could do. So Kakashi, from what you see, what's your opinion of his training? For only 2 weeks of training, he changed a lot. He's really not the same. I cannot say what his new abilities are, because I was on a mission, but I can assure you that he won't have any trouble at the exams. That's quite obvious, don't you think? Shikamaru said. What do you mean, Shikamaru? For him to have affinity with 2 elemental jutsus, it's safe to say that he's already low-level Junin at least. I agree, Hokage-sama. I didn't notice when he did the kage bunshin. If I were to fight him, I have to use the Sharingan at full force. I see. Well, tomorrow is the Chunin exams, and the third part won't be until 1 month after the second part, so we'll only see his abilities then. Tsunade-sama, I have a request for you. What is it? I want to be the person taking care of Naruto's Heaven and Earth scrolls in the second part. Granted, you are dismissed. When the Chunin exams came, Konoha was filled with genins from other villages. The hidden village of Sand, because of pact cooperation with Konoha, have formed a pact in reference to the Chunin exams, sent 10 teams of hopeful genins to become Chunins. Iwa sent 3 teams, Waterfall sent 2 teams and Grass sent 1. Team Naruto had already learned about each other and each one's techniques, right after their talk with Tsunade-sama. Flashback. So, why don't you two show me what you can do? Asked Naruto, performing 2 cage bunchins to fight. No problem, said Saito, up and eager for the challenge. First Naruto clone x Saito. The Naruto clone picked up a kunai and charged with great speed at Saito, who managed to dodge the attack easily and charged at the clone with a taijutsu stance. Saito had great reflexes, so he was avoiding every move the clone made and actually managed the attack a few times. Naruto clone suddenly appeared behind Saito and punched him, just to see a log in Saito's place. Kuriwimi no jutsu, good timing, thought the real Naruto, observing the fight. Suddenly Saito jumped and started to perform of hand seals. Kaden Goukakyu no jutsu 1. The clone did a couple of hand seals very quickly and screamed Suiten Suishuuha no jutsu. A large wall of water surrounded the clone and protected him from the blast and then released the technique right after, blocking a sudden kick from Saito and punching him on the chest, causing Saito to wince in pain, signifying the end of the fight. The real Naruto dispelled the first clone and went to see if Saito was alright. Are you okay? I'm fine, god damn it, it's just that I hate to lose. Keep that in mind. Actually, I have some advice for you if you want to hear. Give me. You attacked my clone with such confidence, that you forgot to protect yourself, therefore you let your guard open for my clone to attack you. Your actions were good, indeed the Suishuha have that disadvantage, but even though you had the upper hand, do not attack the enemy, assuming that he won't be prepared for your strike. What I'm meaning to say is, don't underestimate your opponent. I'm sure your sensei already told you that. Actually, he didn't, because this is the first time I receive a blow like that. I see. For the Chunin exams, you'll need that advice, trust me. Got it, Naruto-san, thanks. No problem. Now, let's see what you can do to Nari. Ah, Naruto-san, can you teach me the Suishuha? Sure, I can, but only after you beat my clone. Beat your clone? Yeah, but Saito couldn't do much with him and Saito is stronger than me. Strength doesn't mean anything, you know. There can be a lot of ways to win a fight. Strength is one of them. Also, speed, intelligence, knowledge of jutsus, and knowledge of the area. But as I was telling Saito, underestimating your enemy it's not a valid strategy. You can never assume anything, based on appearance. Okay, Naruto, let's begin. Second Naruto clone X Tonari. Just after the real Naruto ordered the fight to start, Tonari opened a scroll and drew a katana out of it. Both Naruto clone and the real one was surprised. Now, I remember him saying that he was good in Kenjutsu, this shall be interesting. The Naruto clone performed some hand seals and attacked. Suiten Gyorai Shin no Jutsu. With lots of needles coming at his direction, Tonari smiled and remembered his father doing the same and Tonari cutting them all with his katana. Swinging his katana with speed, Tonari managed to cut at least 800 needles and dodged the rest of them by jumping. That exercise I already mastered, Naruto, you won't catch me with it. Pay attention to the fight, the real Naruto said. The Naruto clone appeared from behind and kicked Tonari in the left side of the stomach, hurting a little bit. Damn you, I was caught by surprise. Tonari, then, performed home hand signs and screamed Konoha Ryuu. Mikazuhi no Mai. With that, Tonari suddenly created a copy of himself to be a diversion and attacked Naruto clone on the back, winning the battle, but was really tired, since the jutsu he used, consumed a lot of chakra. Very good, Tonari. I've never seen that jutsu, who taught you? My uncle Gekko Hayate, when I grow up, I want to be just like he was. Said Tonari just for Naruto to remember Hayate's death just before the Sand Sound invasion. I'm so sorry for his death, it must have been hard for you. Naruto remembered that Hayate was killed by a wind technique that created a sword made of wind. It was, but I understand the ninja rules and the risk of never coming back of a mission. Naruto started to like these too. Saito was very determined and managed to fight his clone very well, and Tonari, also, is very skilled with his sword. With his age and managed to understand such cold rules, it's actually astonishing. They will be excellent ninjas, someday. So, Naruto-san, do you have any advice for me? As a matter of fact, yeah, I do. What is it? Do not lower your guard, unless you are absolutely sure your opponent is defeated. If I wanted, my clone could use the opportunity given by yourself when you were all cocky, saying about your sword handling, and just used a much stronger technique, disabling you for good. Now the real enemy won't go easy on you, so he will attack when he sees an open guard. But, since you defeated my clone, I'll teach you the Suishuha. Gee, thanks. Flashback end. Since Naruto was taking the exams the second time, he knew what the tests were all about. So, he explained to his new teammates. As I said, the first part is a written test. So, you have two alternatives and both of them involve passing the exam. The first is to answer every question correct and the second is to cheat without any of the judges spot you. Which one do you prefer? The second, of course, both said. Great, I have the perfect plan for us to get past this test. Kuchihyose no Jutsu. Everyone meet Gamatori, Gamato and Gamatitsui, grandsons of Gamabunta, the head of toads. Since they can communicate with each other in a secret way, each one will be with each one of us to pass the answers. Got it. Now, the 10th question will be different and won't involve answering any question. For this one, my advice is to do the same as me, just copy me. Simple, stated Kato. Since the plan was set, each teammate with each of the toads seated in different places of the room for the exam held by Morino Ibiki, Konoha's special Junin and a nutcase. Naruto got his answers from his Gamatori by a ninja he knew, held all the exercises for the test and Gamatori passed the answers to the other toads, so they can transmit the answers to Naruto's teammates. It was a piece of cake. Nobody noticed and the three genins managed to answer all the 9 questions, so Naruto released the toads. 10 minutes later, Morino Ibiki gave the 10th question. Time's up. Time for the 10th question. Right now, you all have the chance to leave if you're not sure you can answer the question, but if you stay and get the question wrong, you'll never be able to take the exams again, as long as I leave. When Ibiki finished the explanation, everyone screamed in anger at the Junin and demanded an explanation. This is the question. It's your choice. Stay or leave. Oh, I forgot to tell that if one of a team leaves, the rest of the team have to leave with him. In less than a minute, half of the teams left, complaining about the 10th question. Tonari and Saito watched that Naruto stayed, so they did the same, demonstrating their trust on the blonde shinobi. For those who remained, congratulations. You passed the first part of the exam. A ninja who walk away from a mission doesn't deserve to be a chunin. Morino didn't have the time to finish his sentence, when suddenly, the room window broke and Mitarashi Anko got in, much to Ibiki, Naruto and most of the people present that already know of the snake mistress's antics. Alright, you losers, I'm the examiner of the second round, so follow me. Oh, hi Gaki, how you been? Greeted Anko to the blonde genin. Anko came to know about what happened to him by Kurenai and was very interested to see the new him. Fine Anko-san, and you? Responded Naruto in a strangely polite manner towards the Tokubetsu Junin that everyone now turned to him and kept staring at him while disbelieving that manners and Naruto would never do together. Anko for her part was stunned. The brat, 3 years ago, was noisy to say the least and always interrupted her explanation while screaming things like, I am not scared of you lady, or, just start the damn thing. Huh. It was all Anko could muster while seeing what was once a noisy brat, now showing utmost respect, confidence and a characteristic that the snake mistress would only find within ninjas at least 20 years old, experienced. Naruto was displaying this aura that she could feel that it was trustworthy. If not from the fact that she thought he was hotter than ever. Actually, she as well as Kakashi was seeing the reincarnation of the Yondaime but without the goofy smile and happy-go-round attitude. This new Minato was anything like his father. Serious face, determined attitude, confident in his abilities. What? Actually Naruto was looking at the fact that Anko was checking him out and intrigued him a little bit, since he wasn't used to attract attention. He thought at first that was because of his new attitude and behavior, but then he remembered seeing similar looks from the Hokage when she was complimenting him, so he thought that was something else. You're actually Naruto, that noisy brat who couldn't keep his mouth shut, screaming and blabbing about becoming Hokage?" said Anko, looking at the blonde shinobi intently, never taking her eyes away of his peculiar face features, as well as his deep blue eyes that Anko somehow was hypnotized over at Andi's golden hair. From Naruto's part, he really resented the comparison with his younger self, like somehow she was underestimating him again, but he immediately shrugged off, since she displayed no such intention. "That really hurt, you know? Oh hell, what was I thinking? You'll never change that manner of yours, and as for the Hokage part, you can very well forget about that, seeing that it's not my dream anymore," answered Naruto, earning looks from everyone in the room that already knew him and knew of his dream. The elder ninjas in the room stared at Naruto, with mouth wide open in surprise. But, then again, not all Konoha ninjas knew of his sudden transformation. Ibiki, like Sandaime back then, always looked at Naruto with a smile, concluding that he never stopped impressing him. Ibiki was already quite fond of the boy during his life, during his first exam and then his mission to aid Ibiki's brother to win a race, saving him from a missing nin called Aoi and breaking the Nidaime's Raiden sword. "This boy continued to surprise me," thought Ibiki, smiling. "That brat changed 100, he is not the same anymore, and the air of experience I sense when I look in his ocean blue eyes is astonishing. What happened to him? And, what's happening to me? I'm actually drooling, just by looking at him, even though he is some piece of meat right there. Wait, did I actually said that? Well, he is hot," wondered Anko, demonstrating second intention's eyes toward the blonde shinobi, much to the laughter of her superior in interrogation squad Morino Ibiki, who never saw Anko blushing like that over a guy, let alone a teenager. After the remaining teams arrived at training ground number 44, aka the Forest of Death, Anko explained the rules and about the Earth and Heaven scroll, even then not taking her eyes of Naruto, well at his body at least. She was supposed to be explaining the rules to everyone, but since her eyes were looking directly at the blonde genin, it seemed that she was explaining only to him, which was pretty much an irony, since he was one of the few that already knew what the second part was going to be. Naruto for his part, was studying Anko's behavior. Never once did anyone looked at him like that, well only Tsunade, a few days ago, but she was the Hokage and kind of a family figure for Narutovan, though he now treated with the respect that everyone treat the Hokage. After the solo explanation, the teams signed the wager that consisted on the fact that if you died, Konoha would not be held responsible since the second exams did involve killing and everyone could die any minute if they weren't careful. That much was the reason why Konoha made them assign such forms, since the last one they did without it. The other hidden villages were quite pissed at them, almost declaring war against the hidden village of leaves. Naruto for his part directed himself to his team and started explaining what needed to be done, in order to pass the second part of the exams. "Okay, guys, we got the Earth Scroll, so try to scout the teams for the ones with the Heaven Scroll, so that we can focus on those teams," said Naruto, cursing himself since the last one, if they did that, his team could avoid facing Orochimaru and those big snaked of him. "Good idea, Naruto-san, I spotted 2 teams from Suna with the Heaven Scroll and 1 from Iwa," said Saito, seeing such teams showing to their respective teammates, the scrolls. "Good, went inside. Let's focus our battle with the IWA team, so we can head for the tower quickly," said Naruto, not actually wanting to be on bad terms with the case cage, that was the one and only Sabaku no Gara, ex-holder of the one-tailed demon Shukaku. Okay, actually the team didn't argue and proceeded according to Naruto's plan, since both of them secretly considered Naruto to be a better teacher than their sensei Aoba. When gate number 17 opened, the 3 genins started to jump from tree to tree. Naruto started to apply Jiraiya's teachings and managed to locate Doden chakra presences, signifying that the team from Iwa was near. With Anko, after all the gates opened and the genins entered the forest, Anko had to count some time until she was to reach the tower at the center of the forest. Right now, she was waiting outside the main entrance as she was playing with a kunai with a face that to most shinobis and kunoichis in Konoha it meant trouble. If one were to study her face right now, would be able to see such devious grin as well as the fact that her tongue was licking her lips with some pleasure. Actually, Anko just remembered about the last exams the Gaki participated and the time she licked such tasty blood from him that day. "So, Gaki, you think you can look at me like you did and do not suffer consequences because of it? I'll show him eventually, damn right I will," just you wait, Gaki. Meanwhile, one of the Chunin proctors that were beside her witnessing her every move, trembled in fear at the sight. He damn well knew the last time she smiled like as he remembered a comrade of his be sent to the hospital by the snake mistress after some flirting with her. All he could do is feel pity for the one that she's thinking about right now. Back with Naruto and his team. Saito, the opponent has knowledge in Doden techniques, so Suiten will be out of question. That leaves us with your Kaden techniques, my Fuuten Jutsu and Taijutsu. Got it, Naruto-san, trust me, said Saito, extremely happy to hear their commander's way of thinking and strategy. Okay guys, I have a plan. I'm gonna perform a cage bunshin to collect the Heaven Scroll, while we fight the IWA team, okay? Okay. After a while, Team Naruto meet up with Iwa team, engaging everyone in battle. Saito did some hand seals and screamed Kaden Housenka no Jutsu, too. Various small fireballs attacked the IWA team, dispersing the team apart and ruining their defenses. Naruto, with great speed, went from behind one of Iwa's genin along with 4 clones and performed his favorite taijutsu technique Uzumaki Hendan. The clones all hit the genin 1 time each, throwing him to the air, where the real Naruto kicked the genin on the shoulder, knocking him down and the Heaven Scroll went flying, being picked by a clone, without the rest of the IWA team knowing. Suddenly one of the other IWA genins performed some hand seals and charged in fury against Saito screaming Doden Doryu Dango, 3. With this technique, a rock avalanche went straight to Saito, forcing him to channel chakra on his feet, in order to escape quickly, which he did. Tonari seized the fact that the IWA genin was attacking Saito, so he threw a kunai loaded with an explosive note at him, and by doing a single hand seal, the explosive note exploded right in front of the IWA genin, throwing him to a tree, where he fell unconscious. The last one remaining was fighting Naruto. Naruto actually was concentrated on the battle, but the IWA genin was showing strong signs of exhaustion, so Naruto decided to end quickly, charging with a low-power Rasengan, scaring his opponent, up to the point where he could not move. Therefore, the Rasengan landed on his chest, sending him flying just a little bit. Alright team, we got the scroll, now which would you choose? Rest a bit or go straight to the tower and rest up there? In order to make this choice, you guys have to sense just how much of chakra you still have inside of you, since what I have in mind will definitely wear you out of chakra in a matter of hours. Asked Naruto, seeing the look of determination on his teammates. What do you think, Saito? Asked Tonari, wondering just what Naruto had in mind. I say we go straight to the tower. There we can sleep better not having to worry about enemies trying to take our scrolls. What do you have in mind, Naruto-sensei? Said Saito. Well, I came up with an exercise to improve your chakra reserves greatly as well as improve your control like nothing else before. The exercise is to focus chakra on your feet so we can travel faster until we reach the tower, which I believe will take us 20 to 30 minutes to get there. That's why I asked about your chakra reserves. We can take it, right, Saito? You beat your ass, we can, let's do it. Good, let's go then. Channel chakra through your feet and let's go. Alright, Naruto-sensei. Actually, in spite of Saito's mishap, the younger genins saw Naruto as a sensei more than a teammate, because of the fact that they were learning a lot from the blonde shinobi. After some time, Naruto and the others reached the tower and entered it, completing the exercise in half a day. Since the young genins' chakra reserves were greatly diminished, they took the extra time to rest a bit, since the test was for 5 whole days. Meanwhile, Naruto opened both scrolls, and a figure appeared, revealing Kakashi-sensei. Oh, it's you Kakashi-sensei? I'm very proud of you Naruto. Why you say that? Even though I was hidden inside the scroll, I managed to see everything, since your team entered the forest and had to admit that you acted like a true shinobi. And it seems that I'm not the only one who thinks that way, Naruto-sensei, said Kakashi, looking at him proudly with seeing his students. Ah that, I don't know what Saito meant by saying that. They look at you, as you look at me, that's why. Do you think so? I know so. Naruto, I want to train you for the 3rd part of the exam. I already asked Tsunade-sama and she accepted it. Great. Ah Kakashi-sensei. Do you know if there is anywhere these two can sleep a little? They seem pretty exhausted. Of course, they do. Travel for half an hour with chakra concentration. Not everyone have as much chakra reserve as you do, Naruto. When I heard your plan, I was hoping they wouldn't suffer from chakra exhaustion on the way here. But, if you think again, your exercise expanded their chakra reserves and their chakra concentration. Well, since you finished the second test, follow me, I'll guide to a dorm room for you and your team. Okay, just hold on a second. Naruto performed 2 cage bunshin to pick the 2 genins and take them to the dorm room, which made Kakashi smile at the scene. Now, that's a scene I thought I would only see when Naruto went to Junin rank. Smiled Kakashi. Kakashi noticed the bonding and the respect that the 2 younger genins showed toward Naruto and same with Naruto and them. Kakashi was actually looking at the 2 teammates of his student with a bit of pride. They were Konoha's best. Saito and Tonari graduated at the academy, almost sharing the title of Rookie of the Year, so the Hokage put them on the same team so as to create an all-around team who could very well take any mission. But since the 3rd teammate was injured on their last mission, he couldn't participate on the Chunin exams, so Naruto filled his place. 4 days and a half later. After 4 days and a half, Tsunade gathered the 9 genins left and started the speech, dressed as a Hokage. Congratulations for those who passed the second part of the exam. Now let me explain what's going to happen for the third and final part of the exam. You all have a month to train for the tournament and the reason is simple. You'll be given the chance to master new jutsus, other the ones used in the second part. In a month time, they will be held a tournament and this time, will be each one for himself. Dismissed. When the genin selected the numbers, in order to determine who will be their opponent, Naruto took the time to see that he'll be facing opponents from Suna, Konoha and Grass. When the board was made, Naruto's team was satisfied with their opponents. Each genin of Konoha would get to fight 1 genin from Suna and 1 from Grass, being that same rule for the rest of the genins. When everyone was dismissed, Kakashi gathered with Naruto to discuss their training. At first, Naruto got to think, since he decided to start doing training on his own from now on, but he could very well see in Kakashi's eyes that he was underestimating Naruto in any way, so he gave the one-eyed Junin a chance. As Kakashi delivered a new training schedule, which by the way involved 2 parts. The first part would be Doden, defensive techniques, training and second will be Kenjutsu training. The rest of the time, Kakashi assigned free time for reflection and practice. This timetable looks good, Kakashi-sensei. Glad you like it. We will begin the training in 2 days. Why not tomorrow? Because, tomorrow, I want to have a preliminary fight with you at training ground number 20, so I can see how are your fighting skills, say 8 AM. It's a deal, then. I'll arrive there 9 AM, since you're always late. Said Naruto mocking his sensei, since he was the only one to see Naruto's fun side in a long time. This time, will be different, so be there at 8. Next day. On the next day, Naruto arrived at the place at 8 AM. But no sign of Kakashi. I knew that guy wouldn't be here on time. He's always late, I wonder why? 15 minutes later, Naruto sensed his sensei approaching and greeted him without needing to turn around to see the silver-haired Junin. Are you ready, Naruto? I will be once you activate your Sharingan, Kakashi-sensei. Fair enough. With that, Kakashi uncovered his red eye. Just after that, Naruto threw 2 kunai at Kakashi, which the Junin simply watched both of them pass by and throw 2 of his own kunais at the already hanged Naruto clones from behind. Good strategy, Naruto, but you can't do that with a Sharingan user. I know that Kakashi-sensei, I just wanted to show you one of the many techniques I learned. Oh, I see. With that, Kakashi threw some shurikens at Naruto and then performed some hand seals. Cage Shuriken no Jutsu, 4. The shurikens suddenly multiplied and all hit Naruto, transforming him into a log. Kawarimi no Jutsu. Naruto appeared right next to Kakashi, with a Rasengan charged in his hands, but Kakashi knew it wasn't the same Rasengan as before. Something was different, since this one had a ring around the energy ball. Kakashi ducked with great speed Naruto's attack and started to ask Naruto. What is with that Rasengan you've just made? I'm actually glad you dodge it, because if I were to land a blow on you with that technique, the cut could hurt a little bit. Fuuten Chakra? Bingo! That's my Fuuten Rasengan. I see. This technique is deadly, Naruto. It seems that I have to fight seriously, then. Please do, it wouldn't be fair to me, if you were underestimating me. Fine, here I come. Katen Goukakyu no Jutsu. Since Naruto wouldn't be able to dodge the Grand Fireball, he did the same thing with Saito. Sweden Suishuuha no Jutsu. With that, a huge water column surrounded Naruto, protecting him from the blast. Also, what Kakashi didn't know, Naruto did a cage bunshin in order to prevent Kakashi from attacking Naruto unprepared. Good one, Naruto, but that technique has a flaw. I know, said a Naruto clone from out of nowhere, kicking Kakashi's stomach, therefore sending him flying to a small river near the battlefield. Naruto ran to the river quickly, seeing that he had the area advantage, because of his affinity, and started to perform some hand seals saying, "Gotcha you." Sweden Uzumaki no Jutsu. Oh, crap, I have to swim away fast, or else I will get caught on Naruto's jutsu. Instantly, Kakashi looked up and saw that a whirlpool was beginning his formation and decided that staying there would be a very bad move to do. So without Naruto knowing, Kakashi swam away and went to dry land. Huh? He is there, I didn't sense him. He must have used chakra while I was using my jutsu, that's why I wasn't able to find him. Then, from a great distance, Kakashi performed some hand seals and said Doden Doryuudan no Jutsu, 5. Naruto gasped in shock when he saw a mud monster surge from the ground and started shooting mud projectiles at him. Thinking fast, Naruto dodged the attack while performing seals of his own and counterattacked Kakashi with Fuutonatsuga no Jutsu. Kakashi noticed the tornado coming right at him and remembered Neji hospitalized, just because of the hurricane's strong wind, so he ran as fast as he could to a side where he could avoid the tornado and its powerful wind. Naruto managed to learn some strong jutsus. I wonder which more he knows? Naruto, let's end our fight. I've seen enough. Okay, Kakashi-sensei. But I have more jutsus to show, if you want to see. Said Naruto, really wanting to show what he learned to his sensei, since he was indeed what Naruto could call a sensei, since the other ones such as Jiraiya and the school teachers. Except Iruka. He didn't even bother calling them anything. No, that's okay. You can show me later. Kakashi, from inside, was cursing himself for his lack of determination, since the A and S class missions were over for a year now and Kakashi just got himself too much on the Icha to bother and train more than a few roundups and some light taijutsu practice. Let's get something to eat, then tomorrow, we begin our training. At the ramen stand, Naruto and Kakashi began to talk. So, Naruto, you managed to learn some very powerful jutsus. They will come in handy for almost every mission you encounter as a ninja. Thanks. I practiced non-stop to learn how to perform this jutsus. So, tell me Naruto, in your training period, did you manage to create an ultimate jutsu, or as I would say, your signature? As a matter of fact, I did create something like that. Tell me about it. You remember the Fuuton Rasengan I showed you, right? What I do next is call a cage bunshin, and while I perform the Fuuton Rasengan, the bunshin will channel more Fuuton chakra, transforming the Fuuton Rasengan in a big energy ball located inside a big wind shuriken, that, when it touched the enemy, well, I have to show you the result of it. After explaining the jutsu, Kakashi was intrigued to say the least about the jutsu's description, and he was way more intrigued to see just how dangerous can the jutsu be. So, Kakashi asked for Naruto to run a little demonstration. Complying, Naruto and Kakashi went to a more secluded training ground so that Naruto could demonstrate the jutsu. Do you see that big rock over there? Yes. Step aside, Kakashi-sensei, please. Naruto then performed a Fuuton Rasengan with his bunshin, transforming to the Fuuton Rasen Shuriken, showing to Kakashi the jutsu's form, throwing huge gusts of wind though every direction, like a chopper at close distance. Then Naruto started to run towards the location of the trees, in order to destroy them. When the jutsu touched the first tree, a giant wind whirlpool engulfed the entire tree area, cutting everything that was inside, in such a way that, even with the Sharingan, Kakashi couldn't count the exact number of cuts. That's my ultimate jutsu called Fuuton Rasen Shuriken. I'm actually training to see if I can throw it like a shuriken, other than like the Rasengan. Incredible. Actually, what he said was an understatement. The move was to be considered, easily, Kinjutsu if Tsunade were to know of such move. The destruction was just too grand to not be considered life-threatening. But the problem with this jutsu is that no matter how much my control is good, My arms hurts a little bit when I use it. But since the next day my arm was healed, I didn't think much of it, but I'm still practicing and with time I can do it without hurting my arm. Amazing Naruto, that technique could be very well categorized as an S-class jutsu, if not a kinjutsu, if Tsunade-sama become aware of the destruction as well as the fact that you hurt your arm while doing it. So take this as my advice and use it only when it's a life or death situation for the time being. Sure, no problem Kakashi-sensei, I do have other techniques and the Fuuten Rasengan it's all that I need at the moment. I'm not planning on using the Rasen Shuriken against anyone. Okay, Naruto, tomorrow, Hokage building, 9 AM, be there for your training. Okay, see you Kakashi-sensei. With Kakashi. Right after Kakashi's fight with Naruto, an Anbu appeared in front of the Junin, while he was jumping through rooftops heading towards his apartment. Upon further memory on the Anbu masks, Kakashi recognized the Anbu as being the one who replaced him as Junin for his team and pretty much caused Naruto to change. The man was no other than Yamato. Senpai, Godem wants to talk to you. Greeted the Anbu then vanishing back to the Godaim's office, closely followed by the lazy Junin. As he arrived at the office, Kakashi now turned to the Godem. You called me Tsunade-sama? Yeah, Kakashi. Yamato you can stay here as well, I want you to hear this conversation. Okay, Tsunade-sama. Said Yamato figuring it was a high-level mission that he would be doing with Kakashi. So, Kakashi, as we agreed, you would train Naruto for the third part of the Chunin exams. And he understand that you saw his abilities, right? I've seen it, said Kakashi, looking at Yamato. So, in which level you would grant him? Right now, I would say mid-level Junin, but after this training, he will be close to my level. Excuse me, Kakashi-senpai. Naruto, a mid-level Junin, how's that possible? In our mission, all he could do was resort to Kyuubi. Actually, Yamato, you and Sakura were the responsible for his ultimate transformation. What, do you mean? Asked Yamato, now scared at Kakashi and Tsunade's anger look on him. After that mission, Naruto said to me that he was sick and tired of people underestimating his abilities. So he went in a 2-week training period, when he learned Fuuten and Suiten techniques, as well an excellent improvement on taijutsu and physical strength. He even managed to mix chakra manipulation with elemental chakra. It's safe to say he's completely unrecognizable. Yes, he indeed became very strong, said Tsunade. Sorry senpai, but I simply cannot believe you. Go see for yourself, then. He can't be far from here. Excuse me, Tsunade-sama. At the Hokage monument, Yamato, with great stealth, found Naruto standing on top of the Yondaime's head and hid his chakra, so not to be found. But it was no use, as Naruto already noticed his presence, the moment he arrived, but since Naruto wanted to get back at Yamato for blaming him about their mission and not even do anything about it. Spying on me, Yamato or who the hell your name is? Said Naruto seriously, earning some scared and wide-eyed from the Anbu, since he didn't know of Naruto's abilities with chakra signature tracking and the fact that his stealth skills were among the best in the force. How do you know I was here? Asked Yamato. Simple. I just sensed your anger floating towards myself. Now, what are you doing here, besides irritating me to my very soul with just your presence, said Naruto looking at Yamato's direction, with a killing intent look on his face, that the Anbu froze instantly. I just came to see if Kakashi said was true. Suddenly, from behind Yamato appeared Naruto, scaring the Anbu. What did Kakashi say? How? You were there and, you still there. It's actually a magic trick. Once you see I'm there, now, I'm not. See? Said Naruto. Displaying now to everyone just what a evil sarcastic maniac he was, by doing a little trick with Kage Bunshin, before the Anbu could figure out what happened. Kage Bunshin? Asked Yamato not knowing what the hell happened. Very smart. Did Anbu accepted you because of your brains, cause for me you took a while to figure my little trick. I'll make you eat those words. Oh really? You and what army? Said 100 Narutos, suddenly appearing from a huge smoke. Seeing that he had no chance against Naruto's army, he performed a transportation jutsu and appeared in Tsunade's office. At the Godaime's office, Kakashi and Tsunade were waiting for Yamato's return, when a puff of smoke appeared. So, said Tsunade, being short and to the point, I managed to find him seating in Yondaime's head and hid in stealth, but he noticed me even before I arrived. Then I started to talk to him, only for him to appear right behind me and releasing his clone, which was the one really seating on Yondaimi's head. Then the little brat cursed me, saying that I wasn't very smart since I took a while to figure his little trick, in which infuriated me, so I charged at him. From out of nowhere, 100 Narutos appeared, so I ran. Ha ha ha. Tsunade laughed like a maniac. You sure deserved that, Yamato. It seems you were tricked by a genin, Yamato. Kakashi said, just to infuriate Yamato. But you said he is mid-level Junin. Yamato was cursing this situation. He didn't like to contradict Kakashi-senpai, since he respected his decision and life itself, but assuming that Naruto would be Junin level was still a bit ludicrous. So, now you agree with me, then. Relax. I was teasing you, just like Naruto. Tsunade, still laughing, managed to say to Kakashi. So, Kakashi, train him. Make him one of the best ninjas he could ever be. Because I can tell you one thing, you'll be pairing with him on missions to come. I'm actually looking forward to this, Hokage-sama. With Naruto. Naruto was jumping from roof to roof in direction to his apartment, thinking on his training with Kakashi, when he sensed two familiar chakras coming his way. Naruto-san, wait up. Hi, Saito and Tonari, where's the fire? Naruto, remember that you're supposed to teach me the Suishuha? Asked Tonari. Oh yeah, I remember, now. Okay, then, let's head to training ground number 18. Let's go. By the way, what are you guys going to do as training? Saito promptly said. Sensei Aoba gave me a scroll about Kaden techniques and how to properly use it, so I'll have a look at it, for a week, and then I'll see if I can learn new Kaden techniques. Any suggestions? Look for two specific Kaden techniques. Kaden Ryuukanojustu, 6, and Kaden Karyuendan, 7. If you manage to master these two techniques, you'll have quite an advantage. These two are one of the strongest Kaden techniques. Also, Saito, you should learn defensive techniques as well. Ask Aoba that. Defensive, why? Why? Because, it's not always you'll be able to just dodge the attack. You'll have to face it, using a defensive technique or evasive technique. Either way, you'll have to learn at least two. The third part will evaluate both offensive and defensive aspects of the ninja. If they see that you only have offensive attacks, it would be a negative point for you. Oh, and also, do not underestimate genin-level techniques, like Kawarimi and Bunshin no Jutsu. They are the best for fooling your enemy. Thanks for the tip. We're here. So, what about you, Tonari? What will you do for training? I think I'll ask my father for Kenjutsu lessons, but in regard to my ninjutsu, I'm clueless. If you want to master Suiden techniques, go to the library and ask to see Nidaime's history. Nidaime, why? Are you kidding? Nidaime was the ninja whose Suiden techniques were unbeatable. Read his history and see if there is any of his jutsus, so you can learn it. One special technique I think you can learn, that's quite in handy, is Ninpoukirigakure no Jutsu, 8. It's a jutsu that creates a fog around the enemy, not allowing him to see you or what you're doing. Or you can ask Aoba to see if he knows someone who has affinity with Suiden jutsus, so this person can teach you. Okay, I'll do that. But first, teach me the Suishuha. Okay, then. Try to remember this hand seal sequence. Ox, horse, bird, rat, boar, dog, dragon. Once you did that sequence, you will mold your chakra and the technique will appear. Why don't you try it? Here I go. Ox, horse, bird, rat, boar, dog, dragon. Said Tonari, as he focused on his water chakra and screamed Suiden Suishuha no Jutsu. For Tonari's excitement, the water grew up high and then went towards the river that was nearby. Very good, Tonari. I did it. I did it. One more jutsu. Ok guys, now I'll be heading home. Okay. See you in a month time. Next day. On the next day, Kakashi went to the Hokage building half an hour late for his reunion with Naruto for their training. When he arrived, he didn't saw Naruto and began to worry. Hi Kakashi-sensei, said Naruto. Naruto, you just arrived? Yuha, I assumed you'd be late, so I set my clock up for 9 AM and came here. As it turned out, I managed to arrive together with you, so my plan worked. Said Naruto, giving a victory grin at his sensei, who by now was a little mad at Naruto for actually coming later than he did. You're enjoying yourself, aren't you? Said Kakashi, sighing after seeing Naruto's grin of triumph. Pretty much. This is the first time I arrive after you, Kakashi-sensei. Okay Naruto, we're heading for training ground number 7. Okay, but first, if you want to become Anbu, there is a jutsu you must learn. Which is, Sunshin no Jutsu. Oh, right, that Yamato guy escaped me because of this jutsu. Yes, I believe so. Okay, so how do I learn this jutsu? It's very simple, really, you will nail it pretty fast. You have to think of a specific place you want to be, focus your chakra and puff. Kakashi disappeared and appeared on top of a building nearby. But, you have to memorize the place you're going, so that can be no error. For instance, if you want to go to Tsunade's office, you have to remember the exact details of it, otherwise you will transport to another place. Let's see if I got it. Puff. Naruto suddenly disappeared and appeared right behind Kakashi. See, I told you caught it pretty quickly. Yes, it really wasn't so hard to do it. Since you don't know exactly how training ground number 7 is, follow me, will you? At training ground number 7. We're here, Naruto. Now, I'm going to teach you Doten techniques. They are best for defensive situations and evasive techniques, but they serve as good offensive as well. As a matter of fact, every chakra nature has both defense and offense, except for Kaden, which is only offensive. But if you manage to learn Doten jutsus, you'll have experience in 3 chakra natures, counting Futen and Suiten. Now if you decide to learn Kaden techniques, then you'll have a full pack of jutsus to use in a number of situations. Actually, Kakashi-sensei, I was hoping to learn at least 4 Doten techniques. 4? Why? 3 defensive Adone offensive jutsu. In my training, I focused on attacking instead of defending. Even my Sui Shui isn't only a defensive jutsu. Since that's your request, I believe it's just fine. Actually you already have a good arsenal of jutsus. I'm just adding Doten because knowledge of 2 chakra nature is requisite to be qualified a Junin, but if you have 3, you'll have chances of going to Anbu. Plus, they are the best jutsus for defensive and evasive situations. So, I selected 4 important Doten jutsus for you. Doten Yomi Numa no Jutsu. After forming the needed hand seals, a vast swamp can appear beneath his target to sink and trap the enemy. Doten Doryuuheki no Jutsu. The ninja will do the necessary hand seals and then spew a line of mud onto the ground. The mud will then grow into a large mud wall to help defend against incoming attack. Doten Doryuudan no Jutsu. The ninja will do the necessary hand seals and create a dragon from the river of mud made after using the Doryu Taiga technique. This dragon will then spew mud projectiles from its mouth. Doten Doyuu Taiga no Justu. The ninja will do the necessary hand seals and transform the ground upon which the enemy stands into a river of mud. Those seem very good for me. Good? They are very high ranked. They are high-level Chunin techniques. But, remember, Naruto, this techniques involves a lot of chakra. Even though you have plenty, it's always nice to know what every single jutsu's result in your chakra capacity. For instance, an 8-ranked jutsu can take a considerable amount of a ninja's chakra, and even though you grew a lot, I remember that your chakra control wasn't too good. Kakashi-sensei, didn't Neji tell Godem about how was my training? I don't think she mentioned to me, no. Strange. In all my training period, I sensed his chakra near me, so I thought that he was spying on me. And one day, I stopped sensing his chakra, so I figured that he talked to Tsunade-sama. It didn't come to my attention, then. But why are you bringing this up, Naruto? Because the first thing that I trained was chakra control. Come again? Yeah, I read a book about it and completed the Junin level chakra control exercise. You mean? Fight 10 cage bunchins in 130, that's the one, yeah. Naruto, you know that to do that exercise, you must have 100 chakra control? Yes, I do. Didn't you rest at all in 2 weeks? Of course I did. Eventually. Actually Naruto managed to sleep some more after he was a little ahead of schedule, but he wanted to see the looks on his sensei's face when he said, not entirely lying, that he slept close to 6 hours a day and nothing more. Oh, I see. This will actually be easier than I thought Kakashi. So Naruto, let me teach you about Doten jutsus. As you may or may not know, Doten no Jutsu is the act of using the earth element. It allows the ninja to change their chakra into earth, allowing him to go into the earth and hide from his opponents, manipulate the earth in attacks or create earth to use against their opponents. Doden doyuu taiga no justu. Instantly, a river of mud came to life, making the ground slippery. You see, Naruto. I did. So, how can I channel Earth Chakra? Actually, since your body is surrounded by outside chakra, you can channel ground chakra by the touch of your feet to the ground or by the touch of your hands. Oh, I get it. But Kakashi-sensei, I have only one doubt. If a ninja isn't standing on top of a ground made of dirt or mud, like you said, then how could the Sandame channel Doden chakra on the roof? First of all, he was the Hokage, because of his experience with jutsus, up to the point that he didn't need to be close to an elemental nature. And when he died, he was 50 years older than you, Naruto. Eventually, you will achieve such level, the way I see earlier than he did. For the meantime, you'll have to train Doden jutsus like I said, until you have enough experience without it. Okay, then. So, let's see if you can perform a simple exercise. It involves creating a deep hole in the ground. Actually, this exercise is a jutsu. It's called Doden no Jutsu, earth releasing technique. Perform this hand seals. Kakashi demonstrated doing the hand seals. Focus and with your right hand, slam the earth with the elemental chakra. Okay, here I go. Naruto did the necessary hand seals, focused some chakra on his hand and slammed it on the floor. Other than some small rocks jumped from the impact, nothing happened. Try again, Naruto, but this time don't focus only on your own chakra, but also the ground's. Try to release the chakra in your hand on the floor. Doden is much harder than the others. That's because the others actually are the elementals you have affinity on. Now try again, and do as I said. This time, Naruto did what Kakashi said. He channeled his own chakra in his hands, but this time, when he slammed his hand in the ground, he released the focused chakra, making a huge and deep hole, completing the exercise. 1 week later. 1 week has passed since the beginning of Naruto's training with Kakashi. The scene shows Naruto doing a sequence of hand seals and managing one of the hardest and most chakra-consuming Doden technique. Doden doryuudan no jutsu. From the ground, a mud dragon head appeared and spilled mud balls. Excellent, Naruto. You did it. Kakashi was literally flabbergasted at his student. Great, one time he is the dead last, now he is a genius. What the hell happened with him? What, he wasn't like this when he graduated? Kakashi didn't know if that happened due to Kakashi no being able to give some training for him, or is that he suffered a lifetime transformation. Another jutsu to my arsenal. What do you think, Kakashi-sensei? Can I become a Chunin? Naruto knew he was already Chunin level, if not higher, but somehow he wanted his sensei's recognition, as more of a signal that he was greatly improving. Naruto thought that if he got the thumbs up from the Sharingan no Kakashi in terms of ninjutsus, then he was more than satisfied with the results. Naruto, you don't need to worry about becoming a Chunin, since you passed by far that level. Said Kakashi, getting more proud of his student by the minute if that was possible. Kakashi thought about that and now understood Guy's interest in training Lee to be the next taijutsu specialist. Naruto would be certainly one of the strongest ninjas in Konoha, if not the strongest. Hope you're right. Say, Kakashi, who's that figure there watching us there by the trees? It appears to be an Anbu. Asked Naruto, since he didn't sense the bastard Yamato around them, so he figured that he was other man. Actually, he is, Naruto. His name is Rikamaru. We are going to teach you the art of Kenjutsu and Katana Jutsus. Rikamaru, come forward, come meet Naruto. Screamed Kakashi for his friend to do a shunshin and appear in front of the two. Rikamaru performed the transportation jutsu and appeared right in front of Naruto, shaking hands. Rikamaru, at least what Naruto could see, because of the wolf mask, had short silver hair and same measures as Kakashi, only more bulky than Kakashi, showing that he must be pretty good at taijutsu and kenjutsu fighting. It's an honor to meet you, Rikamaru-san or Rikamaru-sensei, what do you prefer? Said Naruto, showing once again strange sense of manner that if Kakashi didn't knew better than to expect from his student, he would be stunned. Rikamaru-san would be fine. Nice to meet you. You have great tracking abilities, Naruto. You managed to find me, even though I was lowering my chakra, in order to avoid detection. Thanks. I learned that from Jiraiya. That was practically the only good thing I got from that training. Said Naruto, mentally cursing the gray-haired Sannin. Thought so. Only a Sannin would notice me. Especially Jiraiya. He's one of the best trackers in Konoha, if not the best. Naruto, tomorrow we'll teach you Kenjutsu. Get some rest, remember of the Doden jutsus you learned, and if you manage to come with a new one, talk to me. Got it, see you guys tomorrow, said Naruto as he bowed in respect and shined out of the way, leaving the two high-level ninjas behind for some little conversation. Is this the boy who wants to become Anbu, Kakashi-san? Said Rikamaru, turning to lazy Junin. Yeah, what do you think? Asked Kakashi, actually wishing for his friend to approve his skills, since Naruto would be pretty much partnering with Rikamaru once inside the Anbu. He's good, strong, fast, very good tracking skills, excellent chakra control, good knowledge of jutsus. Tomorrow we'll see how he is, managing the katana. In Naruto's room. Inside his bedroom, Naruto was going over the facts, now rushing through his mind. I managed to add so many jutsus to my arsenal, that's possible that I forget sometimes, all of them. It's better that I take the last week before the tournament, to practice the jutsus I've learned already. I guess I could take a day or two, so I can concentrate on taijutsu. I think I'll ask either Kakashi-sensei or Rikamaru-san to spar with me. Naruto was daydreaming again. He could visualize his nomination as Konoha Chunin, it was really a matter of time. Next day, Naruto went out of his apartment's door, when a sudden man appeared and started a conversation. 9. Hello Naruto. Had a good night's sleep? Sure thing, Rikamaru-san. Huh, why I'm not surprised that you were able to recognize me without my mask. Said Rikamaru, earning a smile from Naruto. I didn't know you were my neighbor, Rikamaru-san. Neither did I. Well, let's meet Kakashi at the training ground. Okay, then. Hey Rikamaru-san, I was wondering after this week, would you mind fighting taijutsu with me? I want to see how I am doing. Challenged Naruto. Well, all depends of Tsunade-sama's missions. If she needs me, I'll have to go. But, if that happens, Kakashi is as good as me if his laziness doesn't get the best of him. Now, let's go, before we get late. With that, they jumped from roof to roof, very fast, being both almost in the same speed. I very much doubt that Kakashi-sensei would arrive earlier than us, he's always late. Naruto still doesn't know why Kakashi-senpai is always late. The real reason is that Kakashi stops by the memorial stone every single day, in honor of Obito-san. Thought Rikimaru, wishing though that he could help his friend a little bit. At the training grounds, Naruto and Rikimaru arrived at the training ground and, as usual, no sign of Kakashi. Late, again? One day I'll ask him about it. It can't be the same every day, there is something he's not telling me. Naruto thought loud. You said something, Naruto? No, not really. Okay, Naruto, come take a look at these. These will be your katana for the time being. Is it your own, Rikamaru-san? No, mine is in Anbu headquarters. This one my father gave it to me, when I was your age. Oh, I see. Well, is very beautiful and must be powerful. Your father is very gifted, Rikamaru-san. Gifted would be an understatement, actually the reflection of the sun through the sword was so shiny that Naruto wondered how really old was this sword. Yeah, he is. Father is a very talented swordsmith here in Konoha. Well, let's try something, before Kakashi arrive. Since you have affinity with Fuuten, try to channel Fuuten chakra on the katana. Okay, channeling chakra. Hooah! Instantly Naruto looked at what were the results and gasped in amazement. He recognized this from Osamu's trench knives. Very good, huh? Indeed. Now, you see that rock, simply pass the tip of the new Fuuten katana and you'll cut in half. Do it, like this. Oh my god, how sharp is this thing? I've read in a book that the Fuuten can be used in weapons, but I didn't know it was like that. Naruto was looking at the diagonal cut that the move caused. Hello everyone, Kakashi arrived. Hi Kakashi-sensei. Where you've been? We've been here since 9. Asked Naruto, only waiting for his sensei to throw one of his old excuses. Naruto once thought about commending Kakashi's creativity to always come with different excuses. Sorry, an old lady needed help with the groceries and, smiled Kakashi, scratching the back of his head. Yuha, don't bother. Sighed Naruto, while looking again at a new excuse. Cortez, why of the creative mind of the laziest Junin in Konoha. Well, Shikamaru would fill that position, but he is a Chunin. So, Rikamaru, what did you show Naruto already? I told him to inject Fuuten chakra on the sword. I see. Well, Naruto, this week we'll be teaching you katana kenjutsu. how to handle a katana and how to find. We are also going to teach you 2 jutsus. Kei's no Yaiba no Jutsu. By concentrating chakra on the ninja's hands, the ninja cuts the air, creating a wind blade. Konoha Ryuu. Mikazuhi no Mai. As the ninja charges at his opponent, he creates mutable shadow copies to confuse his opponent. Using the confusion, the real ninja will attack from the opponent's blind side. Tonari's jutsu? This will be great. I was hoping I could learn this technique, said Naruto, as he began his kenjutsu training. 2 weeks later. 2 weeks have passed since kenjutsu training and Naruto was found in his bedroom dreaming. He was walking through what looked like a sewer with pipes over his head and water up his knees. He was walking until he came to the room where he cursed the very presence that have haunted his life so much through all his life. But now Naruto didn't show any hint of fear or doubt in his mind. Where am I? This place looks familiar. Wait, how I can forget this place? Huuha. Naruto. Kyuubi. Really, I wasn't expecting you out of all people visiting. Usually, people just call it, no big deal, you didn't have to grate me with your presence. Said Naruto in a sarcastic manner, only to receive evil laughs out of the kitsune. You think you so strong, aren't you? I don't hear from you for ages. Do you honestly think that you don't need me? If it wasn't for me, I doubt you would survive almost any foe you encountered. You are weak and nothing will change that. So why the hesitation in coming for me for help? Said Kyuubi, never dropping the big smile on his face. The fact is, Kyuubi-san, I don't need you anymore. I change. I don't fear you anymore. I don't fear strongest foes. What I would like is that you could just vanish from existence, but both of us know that's not going to happen. So I decided to accept the fact that you are living with me and let's leave it that way. What do you think? Who? Naruto, so strong such words, and your expression, I have to admit that it suited you better than that old brat who did nothing but cry all the time and ask for help. I as hell don't want to be inside such a weak vessel, anyway. But the question is that your new way of hiding your emotions, or is that you came to face your emotions? I remember the last time you channeled my chakra and things were quite different from what you're saying to me now. What do you think? You've made my outside fame as it is now. But, speaking truthfully, I no longer care that everyone likes me or not. Those who care for me, have my blessing, those who don't, have my pity. Really? I had to tell you, Naruto. I never thought a human could amuse me as much as you do. Well, only the future will tell whether you really need me or not. Until then, I will be watching the life of my vessel continue. Do not think you were able to convince me, you know. You're pretty courageous to face me without even showing any kind of fear, but your abilities will only be shown in battle, and I don't care that you beat your sensei, you are only training and he's way stronger than that. Well, just sit and watch, Kyuubi-san, said Naruto, being polite even to the fox demon, earning thoughtful glares from the kitsune. Just remember, if your emotions are strong, I'll appear. In order for you to not release my power, you mustn't feel negative emotions, cause if you do, it will be playtime for both of us, Naruto, and the results might not be so pleasant. Laughed Kyuubi. When Naruto was about to speak, his alarm rang, blinking 7 a.m. The third part will begin at 9 a.m., so Naruto had plenty of time to attend to the tournament. Kyuubi, I know for a fact that you can't leave me alone, so what good would do if I got scared of you or anything? It wouldn't change the fact that we are in this together, Third part of the Chunin exams. From all Konoha gates, you could see important people coming like ants. Daimyos from all countries, the whole crowd. As a result of an alliance between Konoha and Suna, Gaara arrived as Cage, and will be escorted to Godime's special seat at the stadium. Ninjas from every rank appeared around the dome, filling all the available seats. These would be the exam that her blonde acquaintance would become Chunin. On the left side of the dome, everyone known to Naruto was seated in a row. Shikamaru, Tamari, who was escorting the Cage, Kiba, Shino, Rock Lee, Neji, Tente, Ino, Hinata and Sakura. A little bit up, there was seating Kakashi, Guy, Asuma, Rikamaru, Anko, Kurenai and the whole Junin crowd. They all wanted to see the new Naruto, except for Kakashi and Rikamaru that already seen what is he capable of. Jiraiya was standing next to Tsunade, playing as bodyguard for the Hokage. Would you stop trembling? You're starting to shake my chair for Christ's sake, screamed Tsunade to Jiraiya, actually having to hold the chair so not to fall on the ground because of Jiraiya's trembling. I'm sorry, Tsunade. I can't wait. On one side, Jiraiya was trembling cause this could mean that Naruto would not be ready after all since he didn't see his training and would never think that Naruto could improve as much as everyone said he did. But on the other side, he was trembling with excitement for thinking the other way around. So, Tsunade-sama, Uzumaki Naruto will fight today? Asked Gaara, thinking about his friend. Yes, he will. Wait, how did you know? Gaara laughed pointing to Jiraiya who was biting his nails and saying repeatedly the name of the blonde shinobi. Oh, I get it. Yes, he will. But he will be a mystery to everyone in this dome. He's changed from oil to water. Changed? In what aspect? Seriousness, abilities, you'll see. When everyone was seated, Godem stood up and signified for the Chunin aspirants to approach the center of the arena, followed by the instructor. When everyone approached the center field, the instructor became the explanation. Welcome Genins. You all here gathered because you passed both first and second part of the Chunin exams, which proves that you are Chunin material. There is only one part left, fighting skills. The fights will be divided like this, there will be formed 3 groups. Each group will fight amongst themselves, in order to find the group winner. After, the winner of the groups will have a last fight amongst each other. Remember that even if any of you do not win, that just not mean that you won't be a Chunin. Dependent on your skills, if the judge is hidden at the audience, think you're qualified for Chunin rank. Any questions? Can we use weapons? Tonari asked. All sorts of fighting are acceptable. It would be my call to stop the fight if I see that either an opponent is no longer able to fight or prevent that such opponent can be killed. So, first group will be Tonari, Suna Genin number 1 and Iwa Genin number 1. Second group will be Naruto, Suna Genin number 2 and Iwa Genin number 2. Those whose name wasn't mentioned will be in the last group. So, first group, get to your positions, the rest have to leave for the secure area. Genins, are you ready? Then, begin. Tonari had already drawn his katana, his preferred fighting style, and scared the Suna ninja a little bit. Tonari went to charge the nearest Genin, that happens to be the Iwa Genin number 1. He attacked with his katana, and the Iwa Genin managed to deflect the attack with a kunai and threw couple shurikens, which Tonari simply avoided, by simply swinging his katana, in a more way. Tonari then decided to run near to water part of the field and made some hand seals. Sweden Daibafuku no Jutsu. A powerful water vortex charged the Iwa Genin number 1, who was terrified of the opponent's technique. If he realized that Doden techniques are stronger than Sweden, he would have an advantage towards Tonari. When the Genin thought of moving away, the technique had already reached him and sent him flying, knocking his head on a tree and fainted, losing the battle. Everyone in the audience applauded the Konoha Genin, who didn't lost focus on the other opponent, who was in fighting stance, just waiting for Tonari to come charging him. Are you going to just stand there? Or are you fighting me? What don't you come and find out, then? Weak. What did you call me? I said weak. What are you going to do about it? You're dead. Tonari ran towards the Suna Genin number 1 with such intent, that he didn't notice that all the Suna ninjas was doing was an explosive tag trap, ready to blow when Tonari crossed the line. Tonari, while running, was looking straight to Naruto and remembered their fight and Naruto's advice. Remember Tonari, stay focused and don't let the enemy fool you, because he will, if you let your emotions and prepotency ruin your judgment. So, Tonari stopped and focused his eyesight to notice that he stopped just in time to avoid the trap. Tonari ran to the side, and started throwing some shurikens at the Suna Genin, who just by a few inches, managed to dodge all the shurikens. All but one, actually. That one hit his shoulder, damaging the use of his arms and the use of jutsus. Tonari didn't wait for the Genin to think of something, so he ran towards the Genin and landed a jab on the Genin's chin, making the Genin cough a considerable amount of blood. It's time to end this, Tonari said, making hand seals. Sweden Suiruyuudan no Jutsu. A water dragon suddenly grew so big, that it managed to block the sunlight and hit the Genin, knocking him down, making Tonari the winner of the first match, with the applause of the entire audience. Congratulations, Tonari, you did well. Thanks, Naruto-san, I owe my victory to you. If it weren't for your advice that day, I would have fallen in the enemy's trap. You only won the fight. Now it's my turn. I'm looking forward to fighting you again, Tonari, and this time won't be my cage bunshin. said Naruto, leaving Tonari to his thinking. Next Genin group, appear at the arena, said the instructor. For Naruto's part, each step he made, the audience would cheer louder in anticipation. Today is your day, Naruto, show them what you're made of, said Kakashi. Naruto, I know there are no way you can forgive me for what I've done to you, but I want to see what you can do. Please show me the new you, said Sakura with a little tear running through her cheek. Hang on Sakura, he will forgive you one day. No matter how much he changed, he's still the same confident and friendly guy on the inside, said Ino, trying to cheer her friend. For Naruto to behave like that, it would take a miracle. I wonder how much he suffered in order to show that new look of his. I never seen such concentration from him, he really did change, just like you said Shikamaru-kun. Thought Ino, looking to Shikamaru, for him to return with a smile. Man, that Gaki changed a lot. I can't wait to see his fight. I just can't, said Enko vigorously, earning glances from everyone, with wonderings about what the hell happened between the two of them, much to Kurenai's laughter. Well Naruto-kun, you managed to change yet another kunoichi just like me and Shizune. You are indeed quite a guy. If it weren't for the fact that I'm dating Asuma, you would be one hell of a catch, said Kurenai, blushing a little bit at looking at the Genin's blue eyes which somehow traveled through the arena, much to Asuma's secret jealousy. Is Kurenai blushing because of Naruto? That sure is unexpected. Wait, I'm getting jealous at Naruto. That's absurd, besides Naruto wouldn't go for a woman older than him, now would he? Thought Asuma, cursing Naruto's similar looks with the Yondaime. Second group, begin, said Genma. Naruto studied his opponents, up to realize that the IWA Genin number 2 was not to be underestimated. Naruto could sense that the Genin has large chakra capacity and could hold on much longer than the other. So, in order to test his opponents, he did the same move as the beginning of Kakashi's fight, throwing 2 kunais at both of their opponents, who dodged with ease, considering the kunai passed right in front of their faces. Hey Konoha scum, that kunai was thrown in slow motion or what? Said the IWA Genin, instantly regretting it when he saw Naruto smiling. For me, it would be impossible to get caught in such trick, but to the non-Kekkei Genkei, it's one hell of a technique, said Kakashi from the stands, knowing what would happen, and earning glares from his peers. The kunais hanged to Kage Bunshin and punched both Genins from behind, to everyone's surprise. Ouch, huh? Kage Bunshin? But he didn't make any hand seal, said the Genin, surprised that Naruto did jutsu without the need for seals. Since the Suna Genin was the closest to Naruto, he decided to end it by performing some hand seals and say Fuuton Rasengan no Jutsu. With that, Naruto's was a direct hit at the Genin's stomach, ripping all this top blouse and sending him flying backwards, spinning faster than Kakashi could see with the Sharingan, knocking the Suna Genin to the ground. From that move alone, just everyone at the stadium were flabbergasted. Did Naruto just merged Fuuton Chakra with the Rasengan? Jiraiya, I wouldn't believe it if somebody told me. Tsunade, Naruto knows Fuuton Jutsus? Ino asked Sakura. I'm just astonished as you. I did not know that. If he wanted to kill the guy, that technique could cut his whole body in a second. It's a very dangerous jutsu. He better look out, because the other Genin is charging at him. Naruto turned and saw the other Genin charge at him with a kunai at hand, so made some hand seals, showing the IWA Genin his own medicine. Doden Doryuudan no Jutsu. Instantly, a mud dragon head appeared and shoot mud balls, which the Genin managed to jump just in time and dived, in order to catch Naruto from underground. Naruto closed his eyes and remained calm. Even though the enemy vanished, Naruto could sense his presence, by putting his hands on the ground. When Naruto sensed his presence nearby, he made some seals, then after jumped away of the mud swamp who would be about to form in the middle of the arena. Doden Yuri Numa no Jutsu. Right in the middle of the field, a giant puddle of mud appeared, stopping the IWA Genin's tracks for good. The Iwa Genin channeled some chakra on his feet and managed to jump away from the technique, singing early victory. Before he could land, Naruto smiled and started making some hand seals, screaming Fuutondaitoppa no Jutsu. The wind was so strong, that the Genin couldn't hold to the ground and went flying, just to see a Naruto Kage Bunshin hold him, in order for the Genin not to bump his head and get seriously injured. But, the genin had already fainted from the strong blow. Everyone in the crowd screamed of joy from Naruto's demonstration. Naruto changed his whole style. And after using so many high-ranked jutsus, he didn't even sweat. How's that possible? Tente said. This is the new him. Neji concluded. He's not on the same level as you guys. He's already Junin, without the promotion. You're kidding me, right? He's not stronger than me and Akamaru, said Kiba, with an attitude, but trying to hide the trembling as he witnessed what Naruto could do. Maybe we would give you the benefit of the doubt, if you weren't trembling, right now, said Shikamaru, smiling on the inside, about Naruto's improvement. Shoot the hell up. Meanwhile, looks of admiration and acknowledgement went through all the Junins inside the stadium, and not only the ones that knew Naruto. Asuma was staring in awe of Naruto's display in Fuute and ninjutsu. Kurenai was admiring his coolness while feeling the ground to sense the opponent. Kakashi and Rikamaru smirked at Naruto's brilliant display of Doten ninjutsu, and Anko. Well, Anko was staring dumbfounded for a moment. She was staring madly at the fight, as Naruto did each move with goddamn proficiency, as she quoted inside her head. Her mouth was opening more and more at each ninjutsu. At the end of the battle, Anko was actually the one who started screaming for him in extreme joy, which once again received strange glares from her peers. Well, Naruto-kun, it seems Anko here has a newfound crush on you, smiled Kurenai, while seeing the odd behavior of her friend. But what happened next instantly made everyone at the audience gasp in awe, as Naruto used a modified version of the Shunshin no Jutsu. As Genma declared Naruto the winner, a little tornado appeared circulating him, and then he vanished, appearing inside the competitor's booth, performing the Fuutonshun no Jutsu. Third group, you're up, said the instructor. Saito's fight was a bit of a challenge to him. Both their enemies had superiority against his Kaden techniques. But he wanted to show to Naruto how strong he became with his new jutsu. When the battle started, he already made some hand seals, throwing a huge fireball at the Tsunagenin, who managed to dodge quite easily. Then, Saito engaged in taijutsu with the Tsunagenin. They were equally matched in terms of attacking and defending, until the Tsunagenin landed a punch at Saito, who turned into a log and appeared right behind him, kicking his stomach. Then Saito surprised everyone when he did some hand seals and screamed Kaden Karyuuendan, 10. A huge fire blast hit the Tsunagenin and incapacitated him in less than a second, having the instructor the need to take the Tsunagenin away for urgent medical attention. Meanwhile, the IWA Genin was just waiting for his time to attack the occupied Saito. The IWA Genin went under the ground and grabbed Saito's leg, bringing his whole body below the ground, just leaving his head, making him lose the battle. Even though Saito lost, everyone saw him using an A-ranked Kaden Jutsu and applauded the Konoha Genin. Winners, assemble, called the instructor. You three will now fight for the Konoha Championship. Begin. The IWA Genin was overconfident because of his victory and charged against Naruto with a kunai. Naruto did only wait and dodged easily. Then, with a formidable speed, he caught the Genin's leg, threw him up to the air and made some hand seals and screamed Suiten Suishuuha no Jutsu, 11. Naruto's jutsu caught the Iwa Genin in the air and The wave carried him to the little river, knocking the guy from it. Then, all that was left was Naruto and Tonari, and they were facing face to face, showing some fierce determination. Since Tonari was best at Kenjutsu, Naruto decided to see how he was at the art. That only left you and me, Tonari. What do you say? Let's have our swords decide, said Naruto, summoning a katana, that at first surprised Tonari, but he instantly smiled at the challenge. Since when do you know Kenjutsu, Naruto-sensei? Saito asked. A couple of weeks ago, said Naruto, taking his katana from a scroll. Okay then, this shall be fun, let's go, Naruto-sensei. What happened after a moment left everyone in surprise, except Kakashi and Rikamaru, who were laughing at everyone's expressions towards Naruto. Guy-sensei, they are moving very fast. I know, Lee, their battle is beautiful to watch. Naruto applied my style of Kenjutsu up to a new level. He is faster than me, but that Tonari sure is skilled, and I think Hayate had to do with this. That style is unforgivable, commented Rikamaru. Hayate was his uncle, Rikamaru-san. I'm sure as well you heard the way he regarded our pupil, right? said Kakashi as he smiled towards his friend who were smiling as well. I sure did, Kakashi-san. So it seems that Naruto became a sensei figure for them. He interests me to no end. Naruto and Tonari were giving a katana showdown and both seemed to be at the same rhythm, slicing, defending, dodging, everything. Then, Tonari did the jutsu he learned from Hayate. Konoha Ryuu. Mikazuhi no Mai. He appeared on top of Naruto and sliced Naruto, for everyone's disappointment and utmost shock. Suddenly, Naruto appeared behind Tonari, performing some hand seals and screamed K's no Yaiba no Jutsu. With that, he created a wind blade, cutting Tonari's arm a little bit and throwing him to the ground, losing the battle. How? I hit you with my technique. How did you survive? Said Tonari as he was holding his shoulder from the excruciating pain that the wind sword was causing him. Actually, Naruto was having second thoughts about winning the battle with the exact same jutsu that got his uncle killed a while back. Look better at your target, Tonari, said Naruto as he was pointing to where he was supposed to be if Tonari's attack did hit him. Kage Bunshin? Precisely, said Naruto, before helping the brave genin up. At the Hokage's office on the next day. In the Hokage's room, there was Tonari, Saito, Kakashi, Jiraiya, Shizune and Tsunade waiting for Naruto, who knocked on the door. Enter. You called me, Tsunade-sama? Appeared Naruto seeing everyone inside the room, smiling at him. Yeah, Naruto, please stand near your teammates. Okay, you three, at this moment, became Chunin of Konoha, congratulations. Now, being a Chunin means obviously more responsibility than being a genin. As a Chunin, you are to be team captains, being responsible when the mission is a success just as well as when the mission is not completed. A Chunin should keep his teammates at bay and protect them, but I'm sure that you three just showed to everyone that not only strong individually, Team Naruto is much stronger. Congratulations, once again. Here are your outfits. The Chunin outfit involves two parts, both optionals. The first was Konoha's vest. The other would be the rubber suit. If the ninja wanted to keep his clothes with the vest, it was fine. Needless to say, Naruto chose both outfits to wear. Yes. Hey Tonari, did you hear that? We are Chunin, said Saito. Yeah, I can't believe. And it's thanks to Naruto-sensei, said Saito, earning glances from everyone since only Kakashi heard them calling Naruto their sensei. You two passed on your own. All I did was give a few pointers. Thank you, Tsunade-sama, said Naruto, without much enthusiasm. Naruto, you more than earned the title. Actually, the Anbu chief saw your fights and is pretty impressed. Since the little war with Suna, Konoha lost a few Anbu, so the Anbu chief is locating new recruits. Said Tsunade, waiting for a little reaction, and when it came, even if it was just a grin, she sighed in relief. Really? But, you have to complete 20 A and B ranked missions in 1 year from now. For that, you'll be pairing with Kakashi in those missions. Eventually, I'll add a third or fourth person in the squad, if the mission calls for it. I'm ready for it. Naruto, the condition he set up is similar to the condition for you to become a Junin. So, when completed these missions, it would be best to upgrade to Junin then join the Anbu. Will the Anbu chief agree with that? That's negotiable. As I said, he demonstrated a lot of interest in you. Naruto was walking straight to his apartment, after his promotion at Tsunade's office, now wearing his Chunin outfit. Naruto chose to wear the standard Chunin outfit, since it took away his peculiar clothing and no one would recognize him without the orange jumpsuit or even the clothes that he wore during the Chunin exams. I actually did pretty good at the exam, didn't I? Naruto was going over what's happened at the fight and how he was able to stay calm and win the battle. Strangely, he noticed back on the third round of the Chunin exams, that the crowd was actually cheering for him. He could even feel the seats trembling from the noise. Naruto remained walking towards getting some ramen, since he didn't have time to eat it since the beginning of the exams until he felt Kakashi's chakra not so far from where he was, so he decided to go see what his sensei was doing. When Naruto found Kakashi, he was just standing in front of the ninja memorial stone that engraved the names of ninjas that died in a mission or protecting Konoha from enemy ninjas. Ohio, Kakashi. If I may ask, what are you doing here? Said Naruto greeting Kakashi, before noticing that Kakashi's head was down looking at the monument with eyes looking down and what appeared to be a shame look on her face. Oh hi, Naruto, I was just letting my thoughts take place. mumbled Kakashi, never taking his eyes off the memorial stone, almost like Naruto wasn't even there with him. I see. Well, I just came by because I felt your presence nearby, but if you want I can leave you alone, said Naruto as he was already turning to leave for Kakashi to clear his mind, but since Naruto really changed, Kakashi was considering on letting Naruto know of his secret, the one grudge he still has that hold him to the past. Okay, thanks. Naruto, would you come here please? I want to show you something. What is it, Kakashi-sensei? Can you see the name written on the third line, bottom up, left to right? Said Kakashi, pointing the name so that Naruto could follow. Uchiha Obito. Who was H? Asked Naruto, but when he saw Kakashi's face after the name revelation, he immediately thought better than ask more questions than his sensei was willing to answer. He was my teammate when we were Genins of Konoha. Actually, our team was made pretty much the same way as Team 7. I was the Rookie of the Year while Obito was, well, I'm not saying the word. The Sakura part of my team belonged to a person called Ren, but no one was able to locate her after a while. Since our team was formed during the last Shinobi War, there were many missions that nowadays would be in S-ranked, but on that time, we only did C-ranked missions. It was one certain mission that went badly, said Kakashi as he was picturing the events of the mission for don't know how many times. What happened? Simple and to the point. That was the only way to not interrupt Kakashi's wondering so he could tell Naruto. If Naruto were to ask many questions, it could disrupt the link and Kakashi would be hesitating to tell him. It was a mission that involved the destruction of a bridge that the IWA battalion used to travel, located near the grass country. I was cocky at the time. I was just promoted to Junin and I faced everyone like they were nothing. But, then, a Doden technique was performed by an IWA Junin and a rock avalanche was coming the way of our team. Because I was low on chakra, I fell on the floor and wouldn't be able to survive the jutsu. Obito picked me up and threw me in a safe distance, saving me and killing him. In his last strength, he gave me his right eye Sharingan. If the rocks did not cover the other Sharingan, he would have given me both Sharingan eyes, said Kakashi, holding his tears. I see. Kakashi-sensei, we're not on a mission and no one is around. If you cannot cry with your new teammate, how can you trust him? Said Naruto, putting one hand on top of Kakashi's shoulders in sympathy for the lazy Junin's suffering. The thing is that I somehow can't stop thinking that I screwed up real badly, and every time I remember what happened, I just feel the need to punish my old foolish self, said Kakashi, now surrendering, and tears were slowly but steadily falling though his face. Kakashi-sensei, now I see why you're so firm into the speech about those who abandon their comrades is worse than trash. After a nod from the Junin, Naruto continued, I see, now. I don't know if this will help you or not, Kakashi-sensei, but Obito is alive. He is alive inside you. In fact, he's using his eyes to see the world together with you. He will always be where you are, since you have a part of him inside of you, and I'm not only referring to the Sharingan, if you know what I mean, said Naruto, now knowing why Kakashi was always late, why Kakashi always valued his friendship with others. He's dead because of me, Naruto. Other tried to convince me otherwise, but deep inside this eye is a very well reminder of that day, and every time I use the Sharingan, I try to hold this tears that you are now seeing. In fact, I think you're the first one to see such tears, said Kakashi, still crying but not sobbing. It's hard, isn't it, to have something that aids you in battle, but at the same time causes you more pain and suffering than anything you've ever seen? Said Naruto, now reaching through Kakashi that no one had never been able to, not either the Yondaime to whom Kakashi thought as a father figure, and now here was his son doing yet another feat. Kakashi, upon hearing this, became wide-eyed and started looking at Naruto's deep blue eyes that, if looked pretty deep, it showed nothing but sadness and painful moments. Right that instant, Kakashi understood what Naruto was talking about, but what he did then could very well unleash something terrible to the blonde. Yes, but my burden is nothing compared to yours, Naruto, said Kakashi, now stopped feeling sad for Obito and now feeling pity for Naruto, not at all realizing that what he said pretty much woke up every bottled-up emotion inside Naruto and he couldn't contain it anymore. Naruto for once never liked people to feel pity for him, and he understood that others had suffered as well. But what Naruto despised more than the fox itself was for his suffering to be compared with other person's suffering, like the person saying that he suffered more or he suffered less. Don't you dare compare my pain with yours. What do you think that my burden can be compared to yours? Believe me, Kakashi-sensei, whatever Kyuubi did to me, it even compares to seeing a dear friend dying in front of my eyes," screamed Naruto, altering his voice to the Kyuubis without even knowing, much to Kakashi's awe, staring, much to Kakashi's ultimate regret. Now Kakashi wasn't afraid of the strong aura that surrounded his student. Such aura carried a deep burden, and he didn't have to look Naruto's eyes to see that he was crying. He was crying because of what Kyuubi caused him, but most of all he was crying only by imagining to have a burden similar to his sensei. Right there, Kakashi, somehow, grouped Naruto in a father hug while ignoring the fact that Naruto's red chakra was slowly burning his arms in the process. Tsunade's office. Tsunade was inside her office when suddenly a powerful aura came rushing her senses, and she instantly remembered sensing Naruto's chakra that way before. In a blur, she sunshined to the area where she sensed the presence and saw Kakashi hugging Naruto, while still engulfed with Kyuubi's chakra. Seeing the fact that Tsunade was scared of the Kyuubi getting out, she didn't notice that the air around them carried an immense sense of sadness, and she started to cry without even realizing it. Naruto's aura was the cause, and she right then could feel what could be described as being what Naruto felt like growing up because of the Kyuubi. Tsunade now had a glimpse of what Naruto went through, and she just couldn't stop crying. Around Konoha, three girls felt as well the aura, which showed them only sorrow and grief. It was chakra filled with all but negative emotions. Sadness, depression, loneliness, grief, sorrow, rage, despair. All this emotion seemed to be appearing through them all at once, and the girls couldn't help but start to cry without knowing any reason to it. Kurenai, Shizune and Anko were crying, and none of them knew the reason why, but they very well felt it, and they all wondered who the hell could suffer like this and not lose his or her mind. What happening to me? Why am I crying all of a sudden? I already know this feeling, but never to such a degree. Who is causing this? Anko. Oh my god, my heart is crushing me. What's the matter with me? Why this is happening? I can't stop crying. Shizune. I never felt like this my entire life. Such feelings bottled up, and it's increasing madly. If this continues, I don't think I can hold it. Kurenai. After some thoughts, these girls all came with the same conclusion. They didn't know for certain who was doing this, but deep inside their hearts, they very well knew just who was the person and where did such emotions came from, and they at the same time thought of the only one who could suffer as much was the one and only Naruto-kun, Shizune, Naruto, Kurenai, Gaki, Anko. At the memorial, Naruto was slowly gaining conscience, after feeling what could be described as a father hug coming from Kakashi, and he turned to smile, realizing that he was not alone, knowing that they were others with burdens to carry just as he did. While looking at Kakashi's arms being slightly burned, he turned to look at his sensei's eyes only to see he's smiling, but this time was one of the smiles that Kakashi gave when he was happy and with not a care in the world. Because of Naruto's way of putting words, Naruto made him realize that deep wounds are tough to heal, but that didn't mean that they couldn't get away in time, and Kakashi wanted so much to thank Naruto for what he did. Kakashi knew that Naruto vowed to never channel the fox's chakra again, but he was glad Naruto used it, since such words were kept deep inside of him and he no longer felt the burden carried by him because of Obito. After some time, Naruto drifted to unconscious, and Kakashi slowly rested him on the grass around the monument and turned to see the Godem right in front of him sobbing. Upon seeing this, Kakashi knew that the Godem had some kind of family link with the blonde Chunin, and he figured that Tsunade felt like no one the pain through Naruto's aura. Then Kakashi went to the Godem and did exactly what Naruto did to him. He rested one of his hands on Tsunade's shoulders. I figured you felt Naruto's pain as well, didn't you, Hokage-sama? How could he survived all this long, Kakashi? How could he bottle up so much inside of him? I can't help but fear that what we felt was a mere fraction of how much he suffered. He is just a boy and he suffered a lot, sobbed Tsunade, contemplating how deep was Naruto's wound. No one knows Godem-sama. Only one who shared a similar path can grasp exactly how much he suffered. But I wouldn't underestimate him if I were you, Hokage-sama. Naruto could very well be a boy in age number, but I can guarantee that what he suffered, hardly can anyone suffer as much even with 100 years to live. But he is a shinobi. He is a shinobi of Konohagakure, and a very proud one if I may add, said Kakashi, managing to calm the Godem. Tsunade for her part, saw Kakashi with new lights this time. She looked at his eyes and could very well see that he was still crying, but a strange aura of determination surrounded him, and she could very well see the white fang of Konoha's Hitaki Sakumo rising once again from the ashes. Damn it, Naruto. Even Kakashi. How can you do this? How can you manage to save everyone but not yourself? Kakashi, I can see your student's eyes in you, said Tsunade, now smiling while seeing that Naruto passed his determination to Kakashi. Naruto has a strange ability of helping everyone, Tsunade-sama. But sadly he cannot help himself, it's like he was destined to see others happy, instead of being happy himself, said Kakashi, now turning his back on Tsunade, hiding the tears from the Hokage and looking at the now sleepy Chunin. It is sad indeed, Kakashi. But while his abilities do not help him, we could as hell give it a try, what do you think? Said Tsunade, now joining Kakashi, watching the blonde sleeping peacefully. I would sure do it, even if you didn't say so. Seeing Naruto is like having Sensei here with us again, and now Naruto managed to do something not even his father could do it, said Kakashi, looking at the sky, smiling at the now deceased Yondaime, where out of a sudden, a beam of light engulfed Naruto's sleepy form, showing that Minato was up there watching everything with the broadest smile on his face. And what would that be? Asked Tsunade, just waiting for the answer that the strongest Junin of the village was about to give with all honesty. Naruto just saved me from myself, said Kakashi, earning a smile from Tsunade. I can very well see that, Neo-White Fang of Konoha, said Tsunade, resting her hands around her waist, while seeing for the first time, even though it was covered by his mask, Kakashi's genuine smile upon hearing the name that made his father famous throughout the shinobi countries. At Tsunade's office, after putting Naruto on his bed, Kakashi had his arms healed by Tsunade, and they went to her office to start planning on the missions him and Naruto would be performing starting tomorrow. When they entered the office, they were greeted by Shizune, who happened to also feel the insanely sad aura, showing very well that she has been crying as well. When Tsunade selected the mission scrolls that involved some A and B ranked missions, she told Shizune what happened and assured her that Naruto was okay, since he was resting inside his apartment. Shizune was relieved beyond words for knowing that her brother was okay, but she was sad knowing that the aura she felt even for far away represented Naruto's sad life and tough wounds he held while growing up. Needless to say, the three saw Naruto with utmost respect. That's all for now. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments.